right, my friends, welcome to this very special Juve therapy session with me, Roman. It is Friday night, and as always, every single Friday night, I am doing this Juve therapy session. Thank you so much for joining, because it is a very special Friday. Because I just passed. Well, not just a week ago, I passed my 1K subscribers. It's not much, but you know what? It's something. And when you guys just commented while it happened, it was during my live session just about a week ago. Actually, I was kind of moved almost. So it really meant a lot to me, and I didn't even realize how much it meant to me until that very moment. So thank you so much, guys, for letting me know and for sticking with me. I hope you guys are one of those 1K, because well, if you're not, never mind. Just hit the subscribe button, and you will be one of those 2K, and maybe 3K, 4K, 1 million, whatever. It doesn't really matter, because this is a community. You guys are my friends, and I consider you as subscribers or followers, because this is a community. We exchange opinions, we exchange our life situations sometimes, like we do on this very channel, like especially with the Juve therapy sessions. But also, we exchange opinions, we agree, we disagree, but at the end of the day, we are all, well, friends, so to say. We are all Juventini. So thank you so much for joining this live. I really appreciate every single one of you. And as a thank you for what you've done for me and for this channel, I wanted to give something back. And of course, with this day and age, the easiest thing is to give back. Well, the form of the give back is a giveaway, and of course, this particular giveaway means something special to me. So because this was one of my very first purchases of a Juve merchandise, and I have rarely used that one because basically the size didn't fit that well as I would hoped it would be. So this is why I thought, you know what, when I bought this and I want to find out this is not gonna fit me, I was thinking, like, you know what, I want to give it to somebody who really I truly care about. But the thing is, in Norway, there are very few people who actually support Juve, and who I generally speak to on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. So this is basically where you come in. When I started this channel, of course, I didn't expect this to be quite that big, but now that it's become that big, I want to give that item away. It's not much, mind you. It's not an authentic jersey signed by Cristiano, Dybala, Del Piero, nothing. No, but it's something that means very much to me. But it's time to give it back, to give it away to somebody, and I hope it will bring joy. And I hope it will, well, not just about the item itself, but it's also about the thought behind that item. So before I reveal what that is, of course, the rules, because the rules are very simple, because there's only one person who will get this giveaway. So if you look below here, I will go just in the comment section real quick. I just want to let you know how this is going to work. To enter the draw, this is what I'm going to say here. To enter the draw, you have to be a subscriber of this channel. It's only fair. And just write in the chat, JT 1K giveaway. And when you write that, you are automatically into the draw for this very item. Now, this will be active up until the end of this stream. So if you are not here now, you'll be joining maybe a bit later. During this stream, you are automatically in for this draw anyway. Yeah, and that's it. Because the thing is, I will not be revealing who won this giveaway today, because then, well, of course, the live stream and everything will be happening. Everybody will comment, and it will be hard to me to just pick out one name at a random, randomly, of course. So that's why I'm not going to do this today, but I'm going to note every single person that writes JT 1K giveaway, and that's it, and you're in. And next video, maybe on the next Juve therapy session video, I will be revealing who wins that item. So let's go to the comment section. And I see already RB comes 20 minutes before the start. He writes Forza Juve, and I love that man. I never met the guy. I've only spoken to him for quite some time. But my man RB comes is always present. So it's lovely to see. Also Juve Daily, great to see. I'm looking forward. Maybe we'll do something together with Juve Daily one time, because this guy is always present in my stream, and I will reward that kind of thing. We're gonna talk and we're gonna discuss Juve. We're just gonna talk live as well. If you like that, that's fine. And maybe Juve Daily will invite me to his channel sometime. I don't know. It's pretty cool anyway. And he's almost at 1K followers. Also, I see on Twitter. So please, guys, Juve Daily, follow him on Twitter. Apparently, this is a big deal. So let's help him out, my friends. Let's help him out. Akash, always present as well. I lovely to see the names. I kind of recognize. So Akash, lovely to see you, man. And we bash Bernardeschi straight away, Tim. Straight at it. I love this. I don't love the bashing of Bernardeschi, but we do that sometimes as well. We bash Quadrado, we bash Cristiano, we bash Dybala. We bash everybody, but it's just banter. It's just silly banter and nothing by it. Of course, we love Juve as a club. That is the first thing that should come forward. Let's see. Chris is also here. Nicely to see you, Chris. Congrats again. Thanks, my man. Tomorrow is set up for Dybala based off Pirlo comments. Yes. We will get back to Benevento against Juve game, because, my friends, and listen, in just about 20 minutes or so, I will be joined by a very special guest. You probably know who that is, but I will not unveil it until the guest arrives. So we will talk about Benevento Juve, we'll talk about Cristiano, we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, my friends, because at the end of the day, I'm doing this for you. So if you have any questions to that particular guest, well, go ahead and ask. And mind you, if you're not with me in 20 minutes or whatever, after in 20 minutes, so there'll be another guest. So we will be 3, and then we will be 4. So at the end of the stream, we will actually be 4 people talking. So it will be great stuff. I really hope it will be 4. I hope so. At least I hope that the schedule and everything works. But anyways, this is what's going to happen tonight. So as I said, remember to enter the draw. The only thing you need to be is 1 subscriber, and 2, write JT 1K giveaway in the chat. And that's it. Sander99, new to this channel. Love your content. Thank you so much, Sander. Thank you. Appreciate. Is it Abba? No, it's not. Sorry. Is this your yeah. Your logo, whatever that is, it looked like Abba at first, but no, it's not. Akash is there in joining, of course, and Nikhil is there, Adam is there, Juve Daily, of course, George from Greece, always present, nice to see you. Anonymous Ale is there, and Sander, well, so glad I found this community. Well, I'm glad that you found us, my friends. So if this is the first time you are here, please comment in the chat whatever you want to ask us about. If you want to ask about Juve, if you want to ask about life, what are we doing, how we became Juve fans, just ask us whatever. But since you are new to this group of people, I want to ask you, Sander99, when did you become a Juve fan and why? This is my first question to, well, most everybody. Cruz is there. Greetings from Barbados. Man, Barbados. A Treble Believer. Whoa, Treble Believer is there, my friends. Treble Believer. I love it. Always lovely to see Treble Believer in the chat. It's not often I see you, unfortunately, but every time I see you, you are just, it warms me a little bit. So it's lovely to see you there. George is in for the giveaway. Nikhil asking, why is Cristiano rested? I will not answer that question just yet. We have to wait to see for our special guest, and then we will talk about that. Who's your favorite Norwegian and current past player? Prima Squadra, always with nice questions. Nice to see you, Prima Squadra. To be honest, I was always waiting for a channel like this, and I'm so glad I found you with therapy. Thank you so much, Akash. I really appreciate that comment. Really appreciate it. Yeah, wow. It's yeah, it's always nice. It's always nice to hear those comments. So yeah, Jim 1T giveaway. Yes, 1T JT 1K giveaway. Tim is in the giveaway. So Cruz, Barbados is where Rihanna is from. Well, actually, I didn't know that. As crazy as it may sound, I didn't know that. But guys, if you knew that, all right. Rihanna, Ella, Sorry, apologies. So you want to know what the giveaway is, my friends? You really want to know? Really want to know? I'll keep you on the fence just a little, or I'll keep you waiting for just a little bit. But before we move to the giveaway and what the item actually is, well, Benevento Juve, my friends. We're of course gonna go into the. Thank you. Thank you, Treble Believer. Yes, that makes me cry of joy. Yes, I never had this comment before, and I probably never will again. Yeah. So please, let's never speak of it again. Shh. I didn't sing anything. I don't know who Rihanna is. This is a completely new information. Sano 99. I'm Dutch myself, but a part of my family is Italian, still living there. Firenze. But my uncle is a huge Juve fan, introduced me to you when I was a child. Wow, this is a great story. And guys, if you kind of recognize some of this, if this something sounds familiar to you, most of you kind of can relate to this kind of thing. You know, the family, the father, the uncle, you know, the older brother, or I don't know, somebody who was a Juve fan or is a Juve fan, and it just rubbed off on you. It's yeah. It is great. It is great, and this is how it works sometimes. For me personally, it was just Roberto Baggio balling at the '94 World Cup. I always say this. If anybody asks me about it, I'll always say the fact that it was Roberto Baggio, not any family member or nothing. Just Robbie Baggio. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Yeah, so it's lovely. But yeah, back to Benevento, my friends. Benevento Juve. So yeah, I mean, when you start thinking about this, you say Benevento against Juve, and you think automatically, well, this is a walkover. This is a 3-0. This is basically no nonsense. We're not gonna concede. We're gonna score at least 2, and yeah, it's just basically a routine win. But with Juve, it never ever is, and that's the thing. With Juve, it is very, very strange because we barely made it. We barely make it against. We barely made it against Fenerbahce, as you all probably remember, because it was on Tuesday. And we barely smashed teams. You know, I remember we won against Parma 7-0, if I'm not mistaken, and then we won against Dinamo Zagreb in the Champions League. That was 5-0, I think 5-1 or something. But rarely have I seen, great scores, great scoring games with Juve ending up winning that one. And I'm just curious. You know, I'm gonna do a little research right now because it's very interesting. For some reason, I have this caps lock on. Why do I do that? And yeah, guys, let me know if you remember any great, huge wins from Juve from back in the day up until present day. Huge team, and I don't mean 3-0. I don't mean 4-0. It's okay, but I mean 5-6-0s. I don't remember. I very vaguely remember this Parma 7-0 and of course the 5-0 against Dinamo. And 7-0 against Olympiacos. Yes, George, you are correct. But that was way back in the day. Record matches. Let's see if we have anything interesting there. Transfermarkt, my friends. Transfermarkt. Well, we go back to biggest wins. 15-0 against Centese or something. Yeah, and then Sassuolo 7-0 in 17-18 season actually, and then in 14-15 season 7-0 against Parma. 7-0 against Sassuolo. Sassuolo are a crazy bunch. Remember when Merda trashed them? And then they trashed Merda. That was funny. 7-0 against Olympiacos and 0-3, 0-4 season, George. Let me highlight your comment, my friend. 7-0 against Olympiacos, 2003, 2004. Wow. That's amazing. And just a little trivia for you right there, my friends. David Trezeguet, Fabrizio Miccoli, David Trezeguet, Enzo Maresca, Marco Di Vaio, Alessandro Del Piero, and Marcelo Zalaeta scored the goals. Huh? The names. Can you listen to the names? And if that doesn't give you goosebumps, look. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you see that. Goosebumps. Freaking goosebumps. David Trezeguet, Fabrizio Miccoli, the dwarf. David Trezeguet again, Enzo Maresca, Marco Di Vaio, Alex Del Piero, and Marcelo Zalaeta. Those are crazy names. George, thank you so much for that trip down to memory lane. It was, 7-0. But guys, do you honestly think that's going to happen tomorrow? I don't think so. Yes, Akash, legends, absolute legends of the game. Well, Enzo Maresca can be argued, but absolute legend in another sense. Very funny. I don't think we're going to win that much against Benevento. I highly doubt it. Maybe we're not going to win anyway, 1-2, 1-3 maybe at most. But for sure, I think we're going to concede because I just don't believe we can keep a clean sheet. And mind you, as I think it was, who said this? Let me see. Who said this? Nilesh. Also, Nikhil. Yeah, Nikhil. Why is Cristiano rested? So basically, yes, guys, Cristiano isn't playing tomorrow. So if you have him in your fantasy team, I would highly recommend you to do something about it because he will not be playing tomorrow. I think I need to do something because, yes, I do have him in my fantasy team. If you don't know what the fantasy team is, basically the fantasy league, because we have our own fantasy league. It's for La Panchina. Let me find. Ooh, that's actually interesting. If you want to join in on that, sorry, I can't. But let me know if you want to join in on that, and I will comment below, or maybe some of my guests will be arriving later. Will help me out with that one. But Cristiano is not will not play against Benevento, so that means, interestingly, that we will be relying on Alvaro Morata, who barely is born in offside position. It looks that way right now. And also Paulo Dybala, who has been absolutely out of form and is having trouble finding his place at the moment at this evolving Juve side, because let's face it, we are something completely different from what we were last season. So this is why it's gotta be something crazy happening tomorrow, like a red card for Benevento in the first game, in the first minute, or something crazy like that, for us to win without Cristiano with big figures, so we can forget about it. I just want to see an impressive and dominant performance from Juve. Don't care if you score 5 past them or not. Yes, that's a good point, Akash. Me neither. I don't actually care. I just want us to win. I want us to win, and I want us to give me a good performance and show me some consistency, because I was hoping for some consistency against Ferencváros. I didn't get that. Well, I got that sometimes in some portions of the game, but the fact that their defensive line was so high up, we were struggling to cope with them. So therefore, we didn't see that performance that I was expecting them to deliver on the pitch. Meaning, after Cagliari game, I was expecting something big. I didn't receive that against Ferencváros. So now we try again against Benevento, against Pippo Inzaghi's team. Pippo Inzaghi, my friends. Pippo Inzaghi. You remember him? Pippo freaking Inzaghi. And this brings me to this memory lane again. I'm sorry. This is something special with these matches. We also have 7-0 against Olympiacos, and then we have in the 80s we have some crazy wins, and then we have Down in the 20s. 1926. 1925. 1926. Yes, it is crazy. And then the 40s, and then with the 50s, 60s. We've battered people in the centuries ago. We battered people. No wonder. Yeah, Hellas Verona 6-1. 14-15 season in the Coppa Italia, round of 16. 6-1. I do remember that one again. Because why do I remember that one? Because freaking Kingsley Coman scored in that game. Kingsley Coman. Remember the guy? Yeah, remember the guy. And also we won against Milan 6-1. PSG in the Supercoppa, actually, in 96-97 season. And then we battered Pescara in the 12-13 season. 6-1 as well. And look at the goal scorers from that game also. It's not going to bring you some good news here, but so we won 6-1 away to Pescara. Arturo Vidal, you know, the guy who just got the red card against, who was it? Real Madrid. Real Madrid, he got 2 yellows in space of, space of a minute. Freaking Arturo, huh? Or maybe Agent Arturo, you know, just to screw up Merda even more. I love it. So Arturo Vidal scored, Fabio Cagliarella scored 3, Kwadwo Zamora and Sebastian Giovinco scored the goals for Juve. And funny thing is, the goalkeeper for Pescara was in fact Mattia Perin. Man, times have changed. Times have changed. And our formation, man, we had freaking Maurizio Isla as our right winger, huh? Amazing. Maurizio Isla, guys, huh? Remember him? Remember him? Oh, yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. What happened to Maurizio Isla, by the way? Let's see. Where is he? If somebody knows where he is, well, I'm just gonna click on his name anyway, and then we'll know. He is at Flamengo in Brazil. He is 32 years old, and just arrived from Fenerbahce in August on a free transfer. He is in Brazil right now, Maurizio Isla. Wow. Things are, time is flying, my friends. Yeah, all right. Let's go back to the comment section. Trouble Believer, I want to know your opinion on Bernardeschi. Should we keep playing him, having in mind his newfound mental form? Guess the national break did wonders for him. Yes. The thing is, my friend, is that everybody was puzzled by the change in his performance level. You know, let's say before the international break, he was atrocious. He barely played, and when he did play, it was no use to us. Basically, he did things worse for us than he did better. So it was kind of confusing for me at all that he was even invited to play for international team. But then I thought, you know what? He rarely does play badly for international team. He always delivers for some strange reason, and he did also during this international break. Found that confidence, as you perfectly describe here. He found that new mental state, like he gained confidence basically, scored even, and then came back from the international break, and now he looks like, I wouldn't say a different player, but improved in confidence, because we always knew, and it's never going to happen, that Bernardeschi will be the MVP, the goal scorer, the hat-trick goal scorer. It will rarely be the case. But the funny thing with Bernardeschi is that we have tried him on the right wing, we have tried him on the left Mezzala role, we have tried him behind the strikers, we have tried him everywhere. Well, and I say we, by we I mean Allegri, by we I mean Sarri. Pirlo now looks at the player, that's the way I see it. He looks at the player and thinks, you know what, this is a player who works hard, this is a player with a great left foot, this is a player who is young, Italian, youngish Italian, and is in need of a confidence boost, because clearly before the season even started, we knew that Bernardeschi was a very inconsistent player, still is. But now, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But Pirlo basically decided, you know what? I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna stick him to the left flank. Of course, he was injured. Bernardeschi was injured up until recently, and he started to show his face again after he was cleared to play. But the performance of him after international, if we just focus on the after international break, has been much better, naturally, because he played more minutes. And if you're given 90 minutes instead of 5 minutes, of course, you're going to perform better. You've been given an opportunity to perform. And, you did that against a, mediocre opposition, let's say. So for me, it was natural to see an improvement from Bernardeschi, because how bad can he actually perform based on what he did against Verona? I think it was he who was the at fault when Ferencváros scored their first goal in the first game away in Hungary, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, after those performances, I thought, how much further can we go with this guy? How bad can he actually be? And and that's it. After that, he became better. So at this moment, I would like to give him time to develop on the left flank, but I want to stick him on the left flank. I don't want him to be anywhere near anything else. I want him to be there. And let's see, if he doesn't work there this season, ciao. We have Frabotta, we have Bernardeschi. I don't want, to be quite honest, I don't like the idea of having Federico Chiesa on the left wing back or winger or whatever, because I find that destructive in terms of there will be no crosses into the box, there will be no penetration from the wing, they will always be cutting inside. With Federico Chiesa on the right, however, it will be a totally different issue. He can cut inside, he can go to the flank, he can go to the byline, he can cross, he can make those runs, and it looks so much better when we have a right-footed player on the right side instead of just mixing it around. So for me, treble believer, I want him to stay for now because I see some promise, I see some development. But if that doesn't work, that will be his last straw. That will be the last drop, basically. If it doesn't work, sell him. And I think he knows that too, to be quite honest, because how much more, how long can we wait for him to develop? We spend a lot of money on this guy, so sooner or later we gotta get rid of him if he doesn't work. So yeah, but I know also this COVID situation, if we do really want to get rid of him, what are we gonna get in return? Not much, I think not much, especially based on those finances that everybody is talking about. So that's my opinion. I don't know what's yours, but this is mine. I really hope Dybala steps up and scores a couple of goals tomorrow. Anonymous LA, yes, I really hope so too. I hope we win, my friend. That's the first and foremost. And for Dybala's sake, yes, for sure. Please, just get rid of that. Most importantly, not only that he scores, but let me highlight that. Not only that he scores, but that he also performs. I'd rather watch him perform tomorrow rather than score and play crap, if you know what I mean. Because watching him on the score sheet doesn't exactly mean that he played well. Perfect example being, I don't know, let's say Cristiano then. He is absolutely anonymous, and then he scores, and then he's anonymous again. This is just an example. So I wouldn't say he played a fantastic game, but if you see based only on the stats, not the stats, but based only on who scored, then you automatically think, this player scored, so that must mean that he played great. Another example, Filippo Inzaghi, we just talked about it, I briefly mentioned him. Basically does nothing, and then he just taps in for 1-0, and you see Inzaghi being on the score sheet, and you think, Inzaghi, good player. I don't know. With Dybala, it's something different. I want to see a greater performance on the pitch, confident performance, that he is free of that nagging from fans, the nagging from the media that he doesn't perform. It's just, just relax, my friend. Relax and enjoy football. It's 6:21 a.m. in Sydney right now. Wow. Yeah, Akash, you're crazy. If that's true, you're crazy. I love you, man, but you're crazy. Okay, let's see. Just go through the comment section and I will reveal what the giveaway is. All right. Tomorrow's game is time for Dybala to prove his worth once more. Chiesa needs a great performance, and I hope we see tomorrow. George, yes, I do agree. How's Juve doing this these days, Joseph? Mediocre, but I think we are 4 points behind Milan. So, and it's still early days. Still early days. If you were to bring Prima Squadra, another great question. This guy just pumps me with the questions, man. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's answer this one, my friends. Let's answer this one just to humor this boy. Let me just let's see. All right. So, if you were to bring one of these players back to Juve now, who is it? Zidane, Del Piero, Baggio, Trezeguet, Pirlo, Platini, Zabro, Cannavaro, Zambrotta. One of those right now, in order to, well, if it was been right now to help Juve, as you say. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. That's really, really tough. Well, first and foremost, I think what we need is a player who can connect the attack to the midfield. So probably absolute prime, Zinedine Zidane for this very moment, because I think that he could contribute greatly for us. I would actually smash Pavel Nedved in there as well, because I don't think we need a striker, because we have that. I don't think we need a deep-lying playmaker. I think we have that. The central defender, I don't think that we have that. We need that. We have, well, freaking De Ligt, Demiral, and Danilo. Cannavaro maybe do the trick, but I'm not sure that he is that needed for me personally. Yeah, and of course, Del Piero, Baggio, I would love to see those guys back in action. But to help Juve now, for me, Zinedine Zidane out of those players. I don't know, guys, what you think, but yeah, that's me. That's me. Do you think Danilo and Alexander will be our fullbacks against Benevento? No, Akash, I think it will be... I don't know, man. I think it will be Chiesa on the right, and I think it will be, well, Bernardeschi then, or maybe even Frabotta on the left, playing with a 3-4-1-2 with the ball. Without the ball, it's a different issue. Without the ball, we are 4-4-2, or so they say, or so Pirlo says. But yeah, it could very well be Alexander and Danilo and De Ligt in the center of the defense. Bonucci is available, but I really hope he doesn't start. I just don't want to rush him back in the team. So it's time for unveiling what the giveaway is. Platini, Zidane, Baggio, or Del Piero. Yeah, those are all great takes, my friends. Great takes. Okay, so let me show you what that is. You guys excited? 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 All right, you ready? So remember, this is one of my very first purchases, official purchases from Juve store. I loved that particular item, and it means so much to me. But unfortunately, the size wasn't that perfect. So this is why I decided to give that away to somebody else. But at the time, I didn't know who to give it to. And in Norway, we have so few, Juve fans. And this one is kind of important to me. So I want to give away to something special. And one of you guys, since I'm talking to you every single week. So I really hope you would enjoy this one if you win. Look at that pretty thing, huh? This is a training kit from the Banter era. I'm not so sure which season. Honestly, I don't remember. But this one is a medium-sized. It is a beauty. It is an absolute beauty. And if you can see closely, I don't know if you can see, but it's like this stretches. It's yeah, it's everything, everything you'd wish for in a training jersey, training kit of Juve. So this is what I'm giving away, my friends. The training kit from the banter era, 12, well, I'll say 12 years ago or something like that. There we go. So I'm gonna put that up here. I missed that logo so much. Well, take a look at this. Take a look at this. Enjoy the logo. That's freaking. I miss so too. Sometimes I do miss that logo too. You know. So let me just put it here. So this is the giveaway. No, let me just push it a little bit. There we go. There we go. So this is. Come on. There we go. All right. So this is the giveaway. There we go. Not this one. I'm keeping that for myself, but this one. This one is as ugly as it looks. I actually love the fabric. But this is the one I'm giving away. So if you want in on that particular thing, this one, just write JT 1K giveaway and you are in the draw. Yeah, that's all you need to do. And of course, being a subscriber of the being subscriber of the channel Juve Therapy. At least your team is in Champions League and winning titles, my friend Joseph. Well, Joseph, let me know what is your team. I would like to see that. I would like to see that. And well, it doesn't matter, really. But it matters to me because we'll talk football. Anyway, so there we go. Ramsey will be starting on the left, I guess. Rishab. Well, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But let me just show you something. If I can make this happen. There we go. All right, you seeing this? So basically, this is the players that are called up to the game against Benevento. Let me remove my logo just so you can see it clearly. There we go. So this is the players who are available. And I gotta say, there's not a lot of attackers joining for the game tomorrow. Prima Squadra, what do we have to do for the giveaway? To enter the draw, just look at the bottom of the screen, and you'll see what you have to do. To enter the draw, you have to be a subscriber of the channel and write JT 1K giveaway in the chat, and that's it. And I will be drawing, well, whoever is winning that one particular one. I'll be drawing that one, not right now, of course, when I'm talking with you guys, but later, and I'll reveal it, of course, in my next live session. Or maybe before. Yes, exactly. Subscriber type. Thank you, RB. Comms. My team is Arsenal. Well, my friend, that's banter era, my friend. Really, it's like, I do remember when Arsenal beat us. In the Champions League. And when was that? It was when Bergkamp scored that absolutely fantastic goal. He screwed over Mr. Paulo Montero completely and scored that beautiful goal. I remember that very well. So, yes, kind of Arsenal was... I kind of liked the team previously. But then, with as Arsene Wenger still continued to be a coach, it's... it's kind of became more of a standstill, and then nobody liked that. So now maybe in other days, I really like the Mikel Arteta and his way of organizing teams. So yeah, there we go. Also a young manager, which I am in favor for. So those are the players who are joining who are basically in the team tomorrow. I see no Cristiano, and we spoke about this already. Cristiano isn't there. Why? We'll get back to that once my guest will be logged on. An anonymous Ali, yes, you are. You are in. as long as you write JT 1K giveaway, you are in, my friends. So don't worry, don't even write it twice or 3 times or whatever. One time is perfectly enough. So that's perfectly fine. By the way, this black one, it's a medium size. It's a medium size. So never mind. Yeah, there's a medium size. So it's not large, it's not extra large, it's medium. So just beware. If you like the medium, well, congratulations, you're in anyways. But if you like medium, even better. So Football Comp HD is also in. Lovely to see. How is the league development going? Well, my friends, just answer Joseph. What do you think about De Ligt and his development? I say that he is absolutely freaking vital, vital for the team right now. And without him, I don't know. We can of course rely on Danilo right now. We can rely on. Well, that's it. That's it, because everybody else have been injured. Demiral is injured right now. Bonucci is injured now that he's back in the team against Benevento, but I doubt that he will play. Well, I doubt that he will start. He will probably play, but not start. And of course, Giorgio Chiellini. It's as crazy as it is. We have only one player out of those 5 defenders who has actually been injury-free, and that's Danilo. And this is the guy who actually was very, very injured throughout his first season with Juve last season. It's crazy. It's crazy how it is, but yeah, what can we say? What can we say? I'm waiting for my guest, and let me just write him a message. All right. So, football Comp HD. Been there for 2 years now. Man, my friend, this is great. I've started this channel 3.5 years ago. So yeah, it's been a long time coming. But it is what it is. It's just fun talking Juve. So moving on from Benevento Juve for now. Well, let's do this rumor from Prima Squadra Juve. My go-to guy in regards to questions. I love him. Maybe I should just make you like a permanent addition to this live stream, because you do great. You ask great questions, my friend. Great questions. Reports came out today that Donny van de Beek could be joining Juve if he doesn't work out for United. Yes, I heard that too. The rumors are that he is he will be coming on loan because he clearly doesn't work for. Doesn't work at Old Trafford as of now, anyway, at least until now. My question is, would you take Van der Beek or Aouar? Well, guys, what would you do? This is a good question. Of course, bear in mind that we have Matthijs de Ligt in the team, who knows Van der Beek. I don't know if that will help. And also Aouar is a prime player prime player in the Champions League. We've seen him already in the Champions League and for Lyon in the French League, even though French League is not that, it's not Premier League, top league, but still, it's very, very impressive what he does, and he's young. Both of them are very, very young and talented, and already can boast of a great performances in both in the Champions League, but also in Ajax for Van der Beek last season, and of course Aouar for Lyon. Van der Beek is better than Aouar, says Joseph. To be quite honest, my friend, Prima Squadra Juve, I don't know, because I have rarely seen those guys. Van der Beek I have barely seen playing for Manchester United, and of course with Van der Beek in the system that works, it's something different. It's something completely different with Van der Beek. Ajax system worked perfectly with Van der Beek. Now he's taking out of that system and put it in another system, which clearly isn't working for him, because he basically sits on the bench now. So it's very strange times for him. But I heard that he can play. I think that he played for Manchester United recently, so it's interesting. It's very interesting, and also Aouar, of course, is valued. Will be expensive purchase if we are to take him away from Lyon. Van de Beek could be slightly cheaper, coming on loan and then option to buy or obligation to buy. Is that what we do always? So yeah, it's crazy, but it is what it is. Awar can be a Juve legend if he joins, he says. Well, we never know until they join, do we? We never know until they join. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, huh? All right, let's see. So, any more news? No, I think there are actually no more news in regards to Juve. Well, the most important thing, of course, the thing I talk about now is, of course, that Cristiano isn't joining for Benevento game, which is a bit strange, but also okay because the guy needs to rest apparently. However, are we that reliant? That's also a good question. Are we that reliant on Cristiano that we actually are scared of not winning tomorrow just because Cristiano isn't there? And how much does that say about us as a team? Are we that reliant on Cristiano? I really hope not, because if we are in trouble. We are in absolute trouble if we are. Because once he gets injured, or once he is suspended or something, once he's been man-marked by 5 people, then we are screwed, because nobody else has the confidence to go and take the win for us. So that's it. The thing is, Awar is good. He can dribble. He is a goal scorer, but he's inconsistent. And that's also a thing that our players struggle with a lot. The inconsistency. We talked about Bernardeschi. We talked about Juan Cuadrado, and of course, Paulo Dybala. Many players. A lot of players actually. Artur is actually being a very intriguing one. I still find him a bit inconsistent, but he is better with every game. So it's also very nice. And of course, we have our players, Bentancur being one of them. Very inconsistent. Right now, Morata is freaking consistent. It scares me that he's so consistent. Well, it is what it is, my friends. It is what it is. Would you prefer to watch a possession game? I love you guys with these questions. Would you prefer to watch a possession-based football side, based Juve side, or a more modern, fast-paced counter-attacking side? Well, my friend, last season, that was a possession-based Juve side. Possession-based Juve side with absolutely no meaning behind the possession. It was just possession for the possession's sake. And it's, it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy how frustrating that could be. Watching a Juve side, not creating a thing, but just for the possession. And you don't win games by just holding the ball like that. Of course, you're not going to lose that many games because you have the ball all the time. But once the teams are pressing you up high, you are in trouble. You are in trouble because you don't know how to actually react to that. So this is just the possession side. Of course, I would have loved to see a possession side who can open up teams, and create goal-scoring opportunities, like it looks like that we are attempting to do. But it is very strange how that works. But with Pirlo, it looks like it works better with Sarri already. Would you prefer to watch a possession-based Juve side or more than fast-paced counter-attacking side? Well, of course, counter-attacking side is interesting, but it's also very frustrating. But that means that we sit back and allow the opposition players, opposition side, to dictate the tempo, and then we are reacting when they lose the ball. And it's not always that healthy for us to do that because it's just weird. It's just weird because we just rely on them making a mistake rather than us creating it for ourselves. So I don't know. It's a mix of both, perhaps. But I like what Pirlo is trying to achieve right now. It's not that he succeeds, but I like what he does. Let's see. All right. So we gotta wait a bit more for my guest, one guest, and then another guest, and then another guest. So there we go. Order this player, my friend, my man. Listen, order these players from your favorite player to least favorite player. You can I not answer that question? That's freaking hard, man. Can you ask some easier questions? This. What is this? What is this? What is this? I don't know. I don't know, my friend. Really, help me out, my friends. If you're watching this stream, for some strange reason, I see that my view ratings are just dropping now for some stupid reason. I don't know why. It's freaking giveaway. Stay now. And I don't know. Equally for me, every single one is equal to the other one. That's my opinion. Yeah, but it is what it is. All right. So, any more questions? I mean, your crazy questions, Prima Squadra. You are freaking pretty crazy questions. No need to answer. Thank you, Prima. Thank you. You give me a heart attack sometimes. You give me a heart attack. Let's see here. Trying to understand where these guys are. Just comment in the comment section or in the chat what do you want me to talk about regarding to you, because right now we're just waiting. I'm just waiting for my guests to arrive so that we can really explode this. Yeah. Let's see. I cannot find that. How old are you? Well, do you really want to know? Do you really want to know? 35. Yes, that's true. 35. Will be 36 in August. Joseph is 55. Well, I'm good to hear that it's not. We oldies, we stick together. So you're very welcome to stay for as long as you want, Joseph. There we go. All right. Yes. Boniparti Juventino. Yes. This is, of course, I mean, we have to highlight this. I love the name, by the way, Boniparti Juventino. Boniparti is, I think, actually alive and well still. I'm impressed. Well, impressed is a very wrong word to use, but yeah, going strong, still going strong. What is this? The Pirlo book. Diego Maradona, my friends, passed away yesterday, or was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday, yeah. Tough. Of course, it's very, very tough. It's very strange to watch legends pass. And to be quite honest, Diego Maradona, when he was alive, I've always thought about him being, a controversial figure. I never had the chance to watch him live. Well, in live, I mean watching his games. And I've only heard of his greatness. I heard of him. Well, with the hand of God, of course. That's the first time I heard about Maradona, actually. And then I started to follow Serie A, and then I realized, well, he was actually playing for Napoli and did crazy things there. So for me, it's it's crazy. It's crazy. Of course, it is crazy. But and then I started, really, follow Serie A and how much he actually meant for Napoli and the town, the city, and the fans. It's weird. It's weird. It's just too young. Yes, Joseph, it's too young. 60 is too young. It is, and with Diego passing away, it's a mixed feelings. Mixed feelings, of course, it is, especially with his controversies and what do you actually feel about that? Of course, everybody starts talking about that he's a legend, he's a legend, he's a legend. But when he was alive, actually, people weren't saying that that often. It was basically focused more on his antics and his hand of God. But when he passes away, you kind of put everything into perspective, and yeah, it is what it is. All right, guys, I see that my guest has arrived. I think he can hear me, but yes, he does. I can see his ass. All right, let me introduce to you. Before I do that, if you follow the La Panchina, you know who this guy is. And if you are a Twitter user, and if you are part of this Curva Twitter gang, you know who that is. Represent Luis.
What's up, man?
What's up? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Let me just slap this one in the background. There we go. All right. So Luis is my first guest. There will be coming more. I will not say who that is, but Luis, is in case you didn't follow the whole thing, this is the giveaway thingy.
Okay.
Yeah. So just so you know, if you want to in on this, of course you are in. If you just write the JT1K giveaway in the chat, and yeah, and this is a size medium. So if you are a big guy, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's actually perfect. Medium is perfect.
Yeah, well, all right. So yeah, just write it in the comment section, and you are in. So Luis is a good friend of mine. He's been guest a couple of times on the La Panchina, but I think actually it's one of the first times he is here. I think you were part of one of the Juventus quizzes.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go there very well.
Yeah, Dan smoked me. Yeah. I still think about it too because there were questions that I knew answers to that just but next time I'll be more.
Next time, yeah, for sure. Next time, yeah. Listen, we just be talking about some I'm sure if you watch the chat, if you see the chat and what's going on there, everybody's saying hi to you. It's really very really nice to see. Buoni parte Juventino, of course, with the paying respects to Diego. How do you feel about this? Of course, it's sad, it's tragic, it's too early, but what are your feelings about Diego Maradona as a player, as a person in the whole right now after we've seen the news that then he's actually passed away?
Yeah, it was terribly sad to find out that he had passed away. The crazy thing about football or calcio, however you say or wherever you're from, is that a lot of the legends are still around. I mean, there's a few that aren't still alive, but even Pele, who a lot of people consider like that first real megastar, is still here. So anytime you see a legendary player like that, go, it hurts your heart a little bit. It was shocking to see the news. Maradona, whether you admired him as a player, I grew up with him kind of later, so I know more Maradona the character. It wasn't really until the documentary that you really get the HBO documentary. You really get like the full weight of what he was like when he played. But regardless, he had an effect on the whole footballing world, whether it was just as a fan or a competitor, or even just as a personality. I mean, you think about like rock stars. I mean, Messi, Ronaldo are two rock stars to the game right now, but the way that people have reacted to Maradona, like thousands of people lining up at his funeral, it's just, you may never see it again. It's one of those things that, he's a once in a generation talent.
Yeah, it truly is. And also the thing with Maradona is that he kind of opened up the footballing world as to it's allowed to have fun while you are a footballer.
Yeah,
I remember his antics or his he danced, I think, instead of warming up like everybody else did. He was just dancing around and having fun with
he did a little thing with his shoulders.
Yeah. He was like just a regular guy from the street, just having fun with the ball, and it's all cool. So it was very refreshing, and of course the impact he had, as you say, on the footballing world and on calcio is insane.
Yeah, I mean, you think about first, you think about Maradona, just even his career. The idea that someone who was that good just randomly decides to sign with a club like Napoli. I know for fans in the last decade, like Napoli have been in Serie A and in out of the Champions League, but when he signed for them, I mean, they were nothing. He put them on the map. And, I have friends that were and family that were at Italia in 90 that said that when they played in that semifinal against Italy, the Italian fans rooted for Maradona. Like, there were a good portion of them rooting for Maradona in that game. So just his stature, and you look like, everyone talks about the hand of God, but you look at the 86 World Cup, I mean, the audacity to score some of the goals that he scored and then almost win it again 4 years later with a worse team is it's something we'll never see, maybe ever.
Yeah, true. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, Balotelli was on his way, but
because Cassano,
Cassano, yeah. Yeah. Don't get me started, man.
I saw a debate yesterday on ESPN FC. It was, would you rather, who had the more disappointing career, Alexandre Pato or Mario Balotelli?
Wow. Oh, that's a tough one. Who did you pick?
I picked Pato because when Pato arrived, like he was right at the end of that like great Milan team, they were like, this is the next guy. Balotelli had a few good years at the top. Pato just like, he went up and then just like.
Yeah. He started absolutely crazy because he was at Milan. Everybody was he was wearing number 7.
Yeah.
For Milan, so that was kind of big of a deal as well.
Scoring goals against Real Madrid, against Barcelona, and then just like disappeared. Like Balotelli's at least got like the 2012 Euro. Like Pato's got
nothing. Yeah. His goals against Germany were in the Euros. They were great, but those were highlights. But then again, remember his stupid antics for Manchester City in the training set in the friendly. If you remember that one, instead of just scoring. Backheeled it. Such an idiot. It's funny. Also, the small interview that Jose Mourinho, if you remember that one, about him being on the yellow, and then I have no strikers on the bench. You are alone, Mario. Do not touch referee. Do not talk to the referee. If the free kick is against you, do not speak. Then like minute 47, red card. I remember that very well.
Yeah, that's so Balotelli. Like it's almost like telling him not to do something is like, daring him to go out and do it.
Yeah, true. Listen, I have this crazy guy in my in the chat who I love to death because he asks beautiful questions, and he got me on one. I just have to find that. Yes, this one. So Prima Squadra Juve asked me, if you were to bring one of these players back to help Juve right now, who would that be out of those players? And that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
It is a tough one. I went with let me hear your opinion, and then I'll tell you what I went with.
I think I'd go with one of the midfielders. Maybe Pirlo. Based on the way that they play, it'd be him or Platini, because I think that the midfielders, they're good. I mean, I don't want to be too critical. Rabiot and Bentancur have potential. They definitely grown, but I mean, not having a playmaker in the midfield or someone who can score goals, like it hurts because all you do is just rely on 2 to 3 players to score.
Yeah, true. I went with Zizou actually. As a prime Zizou, it's right now we would have needed we need a player that can connect midfield to attack. It's Zinedine Zidane.
It'd probably be him or like Platini for me because they could play right there in the hole behind the 2 strikers and give you everything.
All right, guys. We're moving forward, and I see that yet another guest has joined the studio. And before I reveal who that is. What can we say about him, Lewis? Without revealing who that is, if you know who that is, do you see that?
I can't see that.
You don't see. Okay, you don't see. So okay, I need to then I need to introduce him in a polite manner. This is a guy who is also no stranger. He needs to wave into the camera if he hears me right now. He does. Okay. So the guy is no stranger to La Panchina as well. If you follow the La Panchina channel, you know who that is. But you also know very well who that is if you are part of Curva Twitter, where we love to hate players, but also we love to hate merda. Because that's all we do, especially this week. Introducing Mr. Graham.
What's up, Graham?
How are you guys doing?
We are having fun, my friend. So, straight away, for you is a question from Mr. Prima Squadra Juve. Just read that one. If you were to bring one of these players back to help Juve now, who would that be? One of those. And that's a tough question. For Luis, he went with Platini. I went with Zinedine Zidane.
Exactly. Well, it's got to be. I want to say a different name from Platini or Zidane because that's you guys picks. But I would have to go either Zidane or Zambrotta because the fullback positions. I mean, Zambrotta is far from being one of the best players there, but everyone that's interacted with me knows how I feel about the fullback position, wing-back position, call it whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Strikers, we're pretty good. We're not struggling. So it's going to be either, and centre backs were fine, really. So you don't really need Cannavaro on top of four. I think we've got 4 or 5 centre backs that are already decent level. But you gotta go Zidane. You know what I mean? A creative midfielder.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. You have a comment there straight away. I like your beard.
Yeah.
New guy. His name is Graham, and one of my great friends. So say hi to Graham, my friends, and also follow him on Twitter. What is it? Is it at Graham1897?
Yeah,
that's the one.
That's what it is, and it's GRAEME. And this is what you call boredom. This is what happens when you get incredibly bored during the autumn and winter.
There we go. Lewis is on his way as well, I see.
Yeah, I got a little catching up to do.
Yeah, and of course follow Lewis on Twitter as well. It's Lewis DeVito in one word. Please do. So guys, if you have any questions for these fellas, let me know. And just put it in the comment section. So we haven't really discussed the Benevento game because it's up tomorrow. But I had to share this screen again for you, my friends. So if you can see that right now, there we go. So we have there's one player missing, and you can clearly see who that is.
Buffon.
Who?
Buffon.
Buffon, exactly. Yeah, Buffon is not there. That's actually a good point.
Yeah. 2 players missing. Chiellini.
And actually, this Israel guy, the one who was actually included in the squad against Ferencváros.
Yeah, what happened to him?
He's not there. What is going on? They're just picking guys at random, it seems.
Looks like several players need rested.
Oh yeah, and that. Oh, I see what you did there. Well, Cristiano isn't there, guys. Let's start with you, Luis. What are your feelings about that? Do you think that once Cristiano isn't there, we will struggle?
Well, I mean, it's so frustrating when he just takes a game off and doesn't travel with the team. I understand resting him, but I mean, if we struggle against Benevento, we have much larger issues. I think this team is more than capable of pulling it out. It might be a little tight, just based on some of the form of some of these players, but we should be able to get the 3 points. I mean, one would hope so, at least.
Yeah, Graham.
straight from the bat, I'm not expecting an easy game. Juventus don't do easy games, it seems, anymore.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a tight game. I think it'll be something like 2-0, possibly 2-1. I've zero confidence in clean sheets anymore. But like Lewis touched on, my main gripe is I don't mind Ronaldo resting. It's to be expected. He will need to take a break and have a rest from some games. My issue is, why is he not on the bench? If worst case scenario, Dybala's still having a stinker, Morata's firing blanks or scoring offside goals, where's the goal going to come from? Bring on Ronaldo for the final 20 minutes or something, and 9 times out of 10 he'll find a goal. So I would much prefer it if he was on the bench, but he's staying at home for a full-on rest, make some Instagram videos.
There we go. Prima Squadra asks if this new guy is Scottish. The new guy. You have a name now. New guy, Graham.
New guy.
Yeah.
Yes, and
there we go.
No.
There we go.
No, interesting question. No, I have been to see Rangers games when I was a child, due to my granddad being a season ticket holder. But I have always been a Juventus fan. I'm a one team fan.
Very nice. And Lewis, I think your question's further up. Where are you from exactly?
I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the United States.
There we go. There we go. So we are far away from each other, but still close enough to talk, at least online. So there we go. Prima Squadra Juve is actually based in Aberdeen. Is that true? We need to know this, because if you are also in Scotland, we have two.
Yeah, that's pretty far up north from me. I'm more central Scotland myself.
Joseph has a question. Joseph, by the way, joined just today. It's lovely to see Joseph there with us. So far, what things have seen that could be an issue in terms of Pirlo's skill set? It probably means, let's rephrase that into basically what is the status of Pirlo's managing career so far. I don't know, Lewis, let's kick it off. What do you think, Pirlo, from day one until today? Has he improved? Do you see something different? Do you see an improvement in the team?
Yeah, I see a little improvement in the team in terms of the way that they play. They definitely have gotten better, taking away the midweek game a little bit, which is kind of a typical Juventus stinker against a team that you should put away 4-5-0 and end up beating 2-1 or drawing 1-1. But I think that now as the squad is getting healthier, you're starting to see some of the collective quality within it. I think before we were running a little thin. There's only so many moves you could make. But I do think it's gotten a little bit better, particularly going forward. And people are critical on the defense because they have conceded, 10 goals? But in Serie A, that's like the second or third lowest still. So it's kind of a weird dynamic. I mean, it could be better, but I do think it's improved slightly. I think the Pirlo's big quality is his man management. You hear the players speaking in press conferences. It's much different than what they talked about with Sarri. And we know in hindsight that Sarri and some of the players did not get on. But, I mean, even if you follow them on social media, things like that, they speak about, having a close relationship with the manager. I think the thing that he lacks is maybe his situational awareness. There have been times this year where he's left players on with a yellow card and it's resulted in a double yellow. And, that's cost us a couple times. There's been a couple times where he's a little stubborn with his formation. Sometimes he'll make changes a little too late. I felt like against Ferencváros, he just kind of threw everyone on. There was no real, like, hey, we're going to do this and this. It was just like, let's throw all the attackers on at once and then let's throw 2 mids on because that's all we had left.
Yeah. Graham, the thing that we've seen with Pirlo is that he changed drastically from a 4-3-3 from Sarri, which was a very rigid formation. It was very basic. We all knew what we're going to get every time we watched Juve. It was a 4-3-3. But right now it's very dynamic, both in terms of in comparison to last season, but also when we do have the ball and when we don't have the ball. it's all very dynamic. It's all up in the air. We rarely know where players are playing at a certain point. But I don't know. What's your take on this? Is it a positive thing, or is it just too much crazy?
I'll try and be constructive here.
No,
the main good thing with Pirlo, straight off the bat, immediate respect. I mean, especially for younger players like McKennie, someone like that. He'll have seen Pirlo win Champions League trophies. Sadly, not with us. World Cup trophies. So immediately, when you're growing up and you're playing football yourself, and you see a guy like that winning those trophies, you immediately, aspire to do that. And now, you're with the guy on the training pitch and on the football pitch, every week. So that's an immediate buzz, and that's an immediate respect thing. You're gonna listen to him. You're gonna do what he tells you. Unfortunately, Pirlo is a manager with, he's only got a couple of games experience, and that's came from this season alone. So he began the season, like something like he'd only been a manager for something like a month. And that was with the under-20s or whatever it was. So he's learning on the job. So to a degree, you got to expect, growing pains. And boy, have we seen plenty of those during the season. We had a really great pre-season friendly game. I think it was, can't remember the opponent off the top of my head. It was like 4-0 or something. There was really good passing. There was really good flow to the game, and you're getting excited. But we've been here before. We had that under Sarri at times. You got excited, and then the following week, it's completely different. And you're wondering, why can't we play this way every single week? So, Pirlo needs to figure that out. Pirlo needs to get his plan in motion and stick with it. But my main concern when it comes to Juventus under Pirlo is defensively, we just look far away from being solid. The game against Ferencváros, we were very high up the pitch, and we kept getting caught out on the counter-attack from, all due respect to Ferencváros, a team most of us hadn't heard of. And, they took the lead against us on a counter-attack. So it makes you wonder, what could better teams, do to Juventus, especially when you're playing that high up the pitch. And another part of my concern is, it seems like he doesn't really have a set-out plan, Pirlo. I mean, how many times have we been watching a game this season and you're spending the first 10, 15 minutes trying to figure out what the formation is and who's playing where?
Yeah, it's like you need a PhD to figure out like who's what the formation is.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it was Eric who tweeted that earlier.
Yeah.
Why need a PhD for understanding what kind of thing is Pirlo actually working with? It's crazy. But it's interesting, and there's also another question here, which brings us further to this point. We keep seeing the different different solutions in the midfield. Also, we keep always changing it up. Sometimes it's Arthur Rabiot, sometimes it's Bentancur and McKennie. Sometimes it's all three of those guys, or maybe even four at one point. So it's everything. Everything is mixed up every single game. So is that something that can be defined as Pirlo trying to find his best double in the midfield, or is it just it's just competition for the place, and that's all there is to it? I don't know, Lewis.
I think part of it is the fact that you take Ramsey and Khedira into consideration, because Ramsey's always hurt and Khedira is irrelevant. They only have 4 midfielders, so they kind of almost have to play 2 and 2. I think when you play 3, you kind of throw yourself off a little bit, like what they did in the midweek. But I do think part of that is the fact that, between Bentancur and Arthur, it's kind of up and down on who you partner with Rabiot. I mean, he seems to use Weston McKennie a little bit further up the pitch, more in between the lines. And Arthur or Bentancur really haven't cemented that second holding role. So I don't think he knows what the best pairing is there yet. But I also think when you're playing, 3 games a week like we are now, you almost have to keep changing them because players are just going to burn out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Graham, question from Anonymous Ali there. I want to hear Lewis's and you guys' opinion. New guy. His name is Graham. Graham, know it. Remember it. New guy. Pirlo's criticism of Arthur. Well, first of all, this was not Pirlo's criticism. I think it was Capello, if I'm not mistaken. And then Pirlo just followed up on that or something. But there were criticism of Arthur having little vision and being pig-headed, so to speak. Do you agree?
Yeah, I don't know about pig-headed. I mean,
what does it mean?
I'm trying to think what it would mean by watching Arthur playing. Like, I think what happened was it was Capello that called Arthur that, and supposedly Pirlo agreed with him. I don't understand or speak Italian, so I haven't seen the interview. But from the translation, that's what I picked up on. But I can't think what he means by pig-headed. Maybe poor decision making, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure. But I mean, I think Arthur can improve. There's potential there. It's just has he even started that many games for us this season? I know at the start he wasn't getting into the team for whatever reason, and Pirlo slowly brought him in. So I don't know what he means by pig-headed. The only thing that I can think of is it's maybe decision making. Which, I mean, when you're talking about Pirlo, I mean, Pirlo had like 10 out of 10 vision and decision making, so that's a high bar. So when he's watching a player play and he's like, yeah, his vision's not that great compared to Pirlo. Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. But it's he is improving though. I think he is improving with every game.
Yeah, I think that Pirlo was probably pointing out like that he didn't have a very good game in the midweek, so maybe he was just kind of be like, hey, he didn't have a good game. But he did follow it up by saying that he hasn't adapted to the league, a new position, just fully yet. But I agree with you guys. I thought that against Cagliari, he was very good. And some of the Serie A games before that, we've seen some good moments from Arthur. He's really good on the ball. He gets out of tight spaces. He just doesn't have that forward pass, yet, where he's, playing the ball over the top or getting the ball through to the forwards from the position yet. But I found it a little harsh. Especially from Capello. Well, I've never really liked, but
yeah. Well, he didn't win so much with
reason
now.
With good reason.
Yeah. He once said that like you can't play someone as a forward if they're under like 6 feet. And I always just feel like Messi is like the proof that just is not possible. So like
if you ever want to see why older Juventus fans don't like Fabio Capello, watch the 2 seasons he was in charge of Juventus. That was god awful. People think Allegri's Juventus was boring. Oh.
Well, he won the Intertoto Cup, so
there you go.
He won a trophy.
Yeah.
Well, so did Sarri, by the way. Yeah.
With us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In fairness to Sarri, no one else won to win that trophy last year.
Yeah, that's also true. Prima Squadra, another question is also crazy with these questions. I love it. Aouar or Van de Beek? So basically, before Lewis and Graham joined the stream, there was a rumor that Van de Beek might go to Juve on loan because he's warming the bench more than he plays at Manchester United and wants to leave, apparently. I'm not sure if that's true. But if he does, there are rumors that he will go to Juve. And, of course, the name that everybody has been talking about for months now, it's Aouar. And no stopping that rumor. Every single day I see somebody tweeting that Aouar will be the next coming of, Zidane or Pogba or whatever. It's absolutely insane how much. I don't understand this, by the way, guys. It's crazy. It's every day there is somebody out there who is talking about Aouar. How good is this guy? It looks like he is the new Messi or something.
He doesn't even get to the France team, so like
that's true.
Yeah, we've heard that one before. The new Messi, the new Maradona, Ronaldo, there's always a tagline. And they very, very rarely ever live up to that tagline.
Yeah, but what would you choose, Graham? Van de Beek or Aouar?
I haven't really seen much of Aouar. Finally, I pronounced it properly. I would take Van de Beek. just purely because I was really, I know it was 2 seasons ago now, but I was really impressed by that Ajax team. And from what I've seen of him, he was good at Ajax and he's been good at Man United when given a chance. I don't know why they signed him and then they've barely played the guy. So especially, I think you said it was on loan.
Yeah. That's the rumor is that he is might be coming on loan. But to be fair, we have no money to buy a player anyways, so it's got to be on loan.
Exactly, yeah. But we got Morata on loan, and that's turned out pretty well so far. So yeah, bring Van de Beek on loan too.
Yeah. I would take Van der Beek too because he also fits right in between the lines. That's kind of his best position, is a little bit further forward. And, like when Aaron Ramsey's been able to do that, Juventus have like another dimension to them when they have a player that can play there. I think he'd help us out a lot. He scores a lot of goals too. So.
There we go. Joseph has a comment. Yeah, Aouar has better attributes than Van de Beek, but he's not as consistent and creative as Van de Beek is. That might be true. To be quite honest, Joseph, neither of us have a following French league day in and day out. But yeah, it is strange though. It is strange. But that brings me also to another question. And of course, we've touched on it many times, especially me and you, Graham. But Lewis, let me ask you this: Pogba or no? No. Why?
Listen,
good man.
I for the most part, I don't believe in second chances. I was in favor of the Morata move because I thought that there was still potential there. I just look at Pogba and I see him as his own worst enemy. I mean, the move to Manchester United in the first place was a poor one. He went after money. And even when he's played for Manchester United, he's never fit. He's there for 6-7 games and then he's out for 2 months. And people will say, well, it's the club, it's this. Well, it's like, what if this is the end of Juventus's 10-year run? Are we just going to get Pogba on a huge wage, just overweight and unhappy because he's waiting for Real Madrid? I think that there's younger, better players that you could sign. I'd rather the money that you spend with Locatelli, I'd rather put into with Pogba into like a Locatelli or a fullback. I think that the money's better spent somewhere else. So I think I love Paul Pogba. I loved him at Juventus, but I think it's past.
Yeah. That's also my take on it as well. I wouldn't even consider it, especially knowing that, his inconsistency for Manchester United, and he barely improves at all. There we go. You guys love that 90 million euro from United. Yes, we do, my friend. Yes, we do.
Yes,
we do.
Damn right.
And it's 100 million. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I mean, how embarrassing is that from Man United's point of view? They lost Paul Pogba as a teenager on a free transfer, and then 4 or 5 years later, they bring him back for 100 million. 100 million. That was 100 million pure profit for Juventus. And then Man United, it was just embarrassing from their point of view, but it worked out brilliantly for us. It really did.
And I also remember that when that happened, people were actually on Juve's head. Juve fans were not happy with the management because it was Raiola, and Raiola had such crazy percentage of commission from that transfer. So basically, we gave much. We didn't receive that much money as we would have liked. We could have bargained for more, but at the end of the day, it looks like it worked out for us. But those 90 million or 100 that we got from United, we spent it. Well, we spent it on Higuaín, Lewis. I'm not so sure if that was a good investment.
Well, for a year, it was great. We made that run to the UCL, but after that, it's not the best investment.
Do you watch him? Do you watch him in the MLS now?
Occasionally, I watched the first couple of games. It's really funny. He's pretty good, but when he's bad, you can tell that he knows that, hey, I should not be playing this way in the league. He gets furious, and because the stadium is empty, you can hear him. It looks like there are a couple of games where he's looked like AC Milan Higuaín when he played us, where he just melts down. And he's got a couple penalties too, which is
he did so. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. There's there we go. Man United also paid 80 million for freaking Maguire. Exactly. 80 million? Is it that much? Is it 80?
I'm sure he's the world's most expensive defender, which is bonkers. That's absolutely maybe I'm wrong, but 80 million for Maguire, that just goes down to if you're a Premier League team in England and you try to sign an English player, you're going to have to pay double what he's worth.
Yeah, I think Chelsea overpaid for. I don't know if they overpaid, but they paid a lot for Chilwell as well, if not mistaken.
Those clubs are made of money.
They say that Jack Grealish is going to be worth 70-80 million. Like,
that could be.
Fascinating to me. You know, like he's a good player, but 70-80 million. He better be like when Bale went for 100 million. Like he was by far the best player in the Premier League. Like it's wild. I don't understand it.
Wild.
Probably explains why Grealish is still at Aston Villa.
Yep.
Exactly. All right, we will touch on this one, Akash, because Akash is such a loyal subscriber, loyal friend to this channel. We got to ask this question. How do you guys rate Ronaldo on and off the pitch? And I know I will let Graham off this one for just for a little bit. But on and off the pitch, let's start with, let's base on this season. Because this is more relevant to us right now, instead of just talking of the whole thing. But how vital, let's say, Lewis, how vital is Cristiano for us this season so far?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say he's the most important player, but he's one of two or three. I mean, he has 9 goals this season at 35. And when you think about this is what I remind people, because there's like a portion of the Juve base that doesn't like Ronaldo because of the fanboys, which, you know, I understand. But he scored every goal that we've had in the knockout stage 2 years in a row. And that's like absurd. It's amazing to me that the rest of the team has not done that. He's a great player. I think that sometimes he's a little selfish. I think that coaches have a conundrum with him because he kind of does what Ronaldo does, and they don't know what to do with him. That was specifically a issue for Sarri last year, among many. We talked about, like, you know, not traveling with the team when he's rested. You know, that's something that's never ever sat well with me. But I do think that some of these younger Juventus players this year look at him like a leader. And if you look in the last 2 or 3 years, I mean, there have been times where Dybala has struggled and he's, you know, kind of encouraged him on. He did the celebration when he wasn't playing. You know, there was that great moment against Fenerbahce the first time where Chiesa missed an empty netter and he was telling them to keep going. You know, I think that I think that he's an important player, and he's obviously one of our better ones. The goal production that you're getting from him at 35 is absurd.
Graham, eventually Cristiano will hang up his boots and leave Juve. What happens? I mean, do we fall into pieces? Do we become Milan banter era, or are we actually going to do something about it before Cristiano leaves?
First of all, don't compare the beautiful old lady to Milan. Never. I know what you mean. I don't think we would go into a banter era. Far from it. You know, we are, in my opinion, over reliant on Ronaldo. That's not Ronaldo's fault. That's a squad club issue. But, you know, he is producing the goods, and I'm all for that. As long as players are in form, I don't care what their name is or what position they are. As long as they're playing well and contributing towards the team results, that's all I care about. And Ronaldo undoubtedly does that. You know, whenever he's playing, he tends to score, which is fantastic. So, you know, I highly rate him on the pitch, and I would even say that I rate him in general. Like, even throughout his career, I would rate him even more highly off the pitch. I mean, the dedication and the training, you know, that's why he's still at this level at 35 years old. So, like, I'm all for that. But I think there will be, I've mentioned it already, I think there will be growing pains, severe growing pains when Ronaldo leaves and Juventus have to get used to not having that game changer, you know, because we didn't really have an out-and-out game changer before. You know, when you see Ronaldo in the lineup, you're already thinking to yourself, this guy's going to score a goal at some point. We never had that before with anyone. Even when Higuain was at the top of his game during his first season with us, he didn't really have that. And could even go further back. You know, guys like Trezeguet, Del Piero, top players, but you didn't go into a game and think, yeah, Del Piero is definitely going to score. So you get that vibe. There's just this aura about Ronaldo. So it's going to be tough. But on the flip side of that, you're going to have a hell of a lot of money to play with when it comes to wages you can offer. Because, you know, there's no one can argue. And I'm not going to say he deserves it or he doesn't deserve it. That's a completely different debate, which I'm not really interested in right now. Ronaldo is on high wages. So when he does eventually leave, at least he can offer a good amount of wages to possibly 2 top-class, world-class players. So I don't think it's all doom and gloom when Ronaldo does leave. But, you know, it will be a tough season without him, that first one.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of reminds me of after Berlin, you know, we had a group of players that we really relied on leave. Tevez, Pirlo, Vidal. You know, that was a huge mountain to climb that following year. We did overcome it. I do think that there's something like if having Ronaldo kind of gives you a little fear factor. Like teams don't fear Juventus maybe as much anymore, but they fear that, you know, well, Ronaldo's in that team, so they still probably will win the league, you know, kind of thing. I mean, you just think about games that he's bailed us out against lower level teams where it's looking like a 0-0 draw and you get something ridiculous from a Ronaldo. I think that's where we would miss him the most. But you hope that there's some bright young players in this team. I mean, you never know where a player like Kulusevski could go. Morata looks incredible right now. I mean, what if he keeps it up? You know, like there's a lot of hypotheticals. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But I do think it will be a little bit of a loss whenever that day comes.
All right. I see that I have my 4th guest has just arrived. Before I introduce him, I just want to let you guys know that this guy is an absolutely crazy person and he loves 90s football more than anybody else. So there we go. If you don't know who that is, of course, it is also La Panchina crew. And of course, as part of this Curva Twitter gang on Twitter, I welcome Mr. Aubert to the stream. Nice to see you, my friend.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Ciao. Seeing the old faces there.
There we go. So, first question for you. We're just gonna roast you straight away. Who do you think you should buy to replace Cristiano, or is there a player in the squad that you think can replace him?
We need a number 9. I know we got Morata, but we need a Haaland. End of. Everyone else, Mbappe, everyone else is all a dream come true if it happens, but it won't happen. Haaland.
Why?
Because he can score goals. Simple as that. He's proven it. So from day one, he's young, he's tall, he's fast, he's strong in the air, good with his feet, good shooting. He's a team player, collaborates well with the guys. He brings the play forward. Simple as that. Class player. Him and Morata would be deadly duo. And hopefully Dybala could slot in between the two. We go the classical 2 up front and 1 behind him. And what I always fantasized is to have the Fantasista. And Dybala can be the Fantasista number 10, the true number 10. But Haaland. I think everyone else like Mbappe, Neymar, forget it. Just don't have the money for it.
But do you think we have money to buy Holland?
Yeah, 60 million in the release clause. Plus we've got good relations with Nino Raiola. I'm sure he'll screw us over. He'll get Haaland for us for 3 years, and then he'll screw us over and send him off to Madrid or Barcelona. But hey,
he always throws us a little bone, though. You know.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys. So if you don't know who Aubert is, he's a good friend of mine. Been on the show a couple of times. Also part of the first edition of Juventus Quiz. Got roasted there. Graham also got roasted in the first.
Technicality.
It was a replay. Replay.
Yeah,
come on now.
Screwed you over. Yes, they did exactly. Yeah, it was fun. That was fun. So yeah, we're back here, and I see we have a lot of people in the chat. It's always nice to see. And just guys, if you have any questions to those guys, please share with the group. We talked about Aouar versus Van der Beek. Ober, what are your thoughts on Van der Beek? Or there are rumors apparently that he might go to Juve on loan. There are only rumors, of course, because he doesn't fancy the weather in Manchester. So yeah, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a real shame what's going on with Van der Beek at Man United. You know, it's I don't know. It's a shame that he's not playing his full game there. But I think, listen, this obsession with Aouar, it's back and forth constantly. You know, and by the way, have we not learned this transfer season? Did anyone call McKennie? No. Did anyone call Kulusevski? No. Morata? No, in a certain extent. Everyone was talking about Suarez and Zeko and what's his other face, the old timer. I forgot about that one as well. Milik, yes, injury-prone Milik. But no one thought of Morata. So really, guys, I would be surprised if we bring someone in that completely was not on our radar. Like Aouar is far too. How often have we ever signed a player in the last? Ronaldo's a classic example. No one thought of that in a million years. No one. You know, De Ligt, not a chance.
Yeah, I told some of my friends that there was no chance we were going to sign De Ligt.
Just a wager on that.
Yeah, I was just like, it just didn't seem like it was going to happen. Like it really did.
Do you know what? I actually think there's a guy here talked about Eriksen. I think. You know, Madrid going down. They're not looking too good. You know, they're not looking too good. And Eriksen is looking. He's a bit of a temperamental player. I wouldn't.
And we are okay with that, my friend.
Yeah, I don't mind. Why are we? Is someone anti-Eriksen here?
No,
well,
not really.
This guy is well. First and foremost, it's very rarely when you buy somebody in January, you're gonna succeed straight away, like he did. He came in January for Merda, right? So they were expecting great things from the guy. They thought maybe they could do something like we did with Ramsey. Came from London, going to Serie A, doing okay, but he basically been crap. And for sure, I don't want Eriksen anywhere near my team. I just don't see what he can do. What I don't know. We have a player already in that caliber. Why should we have another one?
I would say it depends more on the price. I mean, like Eriksen, he's not a Conte-style player. You know, Conte just likes guys that are going to run around the pitch. I mean, for some reason, thankfully, he thinks that Vidal is still 25, so he wanted him. But he's not the real style of Conte player. I think that's an issue for them. Long may it continue, by the way. But yeah. I think he could. I think he would do better for Juventus. We don't really need him, but again, it would come down to price.
I think there's another thing popped up by Luca about Locatelli and De Paul. Listen, I don't know why. I think you know what? With Locatelli leaving Milan, going to Sassuolo, it's like Milan looking through the window, wishing they had that player back in their team. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like the girlfriend you break up with her. And then you got a new girlfriend, you see your ex-girlfriend, a nice guy and everything, you think, oh, I want her back now. But you can't, it's gone now. It's the same thing. Locatelli, to me, I don't know, I'll be honest with you, De Paul, I don't know why people are banging on about this player. Yes, he's had a good season with Udinese, I get it. But Locatelli, look at the national team. Look at what he's doing for Sassuolo. Sassuolo's almost like top side of the league, you know? It's insane. The player, he's a great player, Locatelli.
I think as soon as Juventus have the money, that's a must-sign kind of player. I think he would do wonders in that double pivot because he's good defensively. He has that problem that we talked about with Arthur, where he can actually play the ball over the top and through the lines. And I just think that too, like if you look at the Italy team, they've been unbeaten like 25 games. They use primarily Barella, Verratti, Jorginho, and he's just kind of slot right in there. I mean, he's going to take one of those spots away. It's a no-brainer for me.
There's a question there regarding another player, Donnarumma. Graham, we have Wojciech Szczesny already, who is a pretty good goalkeeper, I might say. But Donnarumma on a free transfer, because there are rumors that he will not sign a new contract with Milan, so there are rumors that he might come to Juve on a free. and he's already quite consistent. So
I mean,
yeah, I don't know, Graham, what you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, Buffon can't last forever, so we're going to need another Italian on the bench. So yeah, bring him in for free. More seriously, I would like Donnarumma in, but we have Szczesny, who is more than good enough. I'm not going to say like Szczesny's like top of the top of the top, but you know, for the price involved, you know, for the amount of wages, I don't know exactly what he's on at Milan, but I know it's a lot. And I think that's one of the issues they're having with him. I think he maybe wants even more. I'm not entirely sure. So I don't think it would be worth bringing him to Juventus for the wages that he would command. But he's definitely a top goalkeeper. And on top
He's
of
also
that,
Rayola's client, isn't he?
yeah, that's another drawback. But like one of the positives would be he's a top player. He's young and he's Italian, so that's going to count towards your home-based players, which I don't think we really have that many in the overall squad.
Guys, you got to realize Donnarumma's played 200 games already for Milan. Huh? 200.
Yeah, he also, if Juventus is truly trending younger, I think Szczesny is going to be, he's 32, maybe 33, somewhere like that. So it could be one of those things that I think Szczesny's been phenomenal for Juve, but if you have a chance to get a younger goalie who could be there for the next 5 to 6 years, I mean, that might be your guy. It depends on how much longer they think that Szczesny can be the guy.
He's 30.
30? I guess, yeah.
For a keeper, that's still young. And I look, Tekers, I like Tekers. I think Tekers is a great shot stopper. Tekers a great. I'll never forget that game last season against Roma, running up towards Dzeko and saved it. That was a goal, definite. And Tekers smashed the ball there. The only problem with Teker is it's his command of the box, and you see him time and time again in the corners, in the free kicks. He just doesn't command the presence like Andrea Peruzzi or even a Rampula, for example. He would command the box, you know. Of course, Buffon. But I just want to say, what I'm going to have a dig at Mr. Graham over there. That jersey with the record number Serie A, it's going to be gone in a few years' time when you have Donnarumma taking over those numbers. You spend a lot of dineros on that jersey.
Yeah, but that jersey, but unlike other jerseys, that jersey's got Buffon on the back. GOAT of goalkeepers. I don't care how many appearances Donnarumma has. Buffon's got a World Cup. How many's Donnarumma got?
Also runner-up for the Ballon d'Or as a goalkeeper. Very rare.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's true.
Zaniolo, guys, what are we thinking?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe. It depends on the price.
No. I don't know. I'm not so sure.
I just don't know where he would
slot up a little bit.
Zaniolo as a player is a fantastic player to watch. He ripped complete holes in us when he played against us, right? But the fact is, the problem is he's a young lad who's already got 2 major injuries. Are we going to risk spending 60, 70, 80 million on a player who can be injured for entire seasons? That's risky business. I mean, class player, but nah.
We'll see.
Prior to the injuries, but I mean, 2 serious injuries now.
Oh, go ahead.
That's it.
No, go ahead. Start. You go ahead.
All right. Prior to the injuries, I would have took him. But, you know, that's 2 major injuries at such a young age. You know, you don't know how that's going to affect him later down the road.
The thing is that I remember previously when you got that sort of injury, you were basically out. You're done and dusted. But I remember Del Piero got the same injury, and then he returned. He was actually the top scorer after that injury, and also, if I'm not mistaken, Zaniolo had that injury, and when he went on, he raped us basically. In the last game of the last season, and then he got injured again. But I think actually that was the last game of Blaise Matuidi for us, when Zaniolo completely ripped him apart. And then Matuidi just, I'm not doing this, man. This guy just came back from injury and he's roasting me like that. No. I'm gonna go to Miami, get myself some COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's 21, Zaniolo. You're right. It could work both ways, chaps. You know, to Lewis's point, right? He's a great talent, right? And it's definitely a yes. It's definitely a consideration. Yes, but the problem is, do you weigh up? Like the Premiership, a lot of the English players, like right now, the hot player right now is Grealish, right? Everyone's banging on about this player, right? Oh yeah, brilliant player, class. What a classy player, blah blah blah. And they will charge absurd amount of money, crazy amount of money for this guy, right? It's the same concept in Italy. Zaniolo, Italian, Chiesa. I felt we overpaid for Chiesa, but it is what it is. It's the market that we're in. You want Italian class players, you got to pay for it, and that's the risk kind of aspect to it.
Lewis, the question about Bentancur and his challenges and his problems. What do you think of him? Do you think what we've seen from Bentancur is that it, or does he actually have something in his tank that we can hope for?
I think that we could see more from him a little bit. I think that Bentancur, he's got a lot of inconsistencies in this game, but sometimes take the game like Dynamo against Kiev, where he was, switching the ball beautifully across the pitch. I mean, he's one of the only players that can do that for us. We saw a little bit in the Lazio game. I think it's just more consistency. I think Bentancur, much like a Dybala, suffers from playing a lot of minutes after COVID last year and then having no preseason to train. And I think that he looks just out of funk. He looks worn down. But I think there's a little bit more we can see from him. He also doesn't shoot enough. The Bentancur, he offers nothing in the final third a little bit, which is probably more my frustration from him. But I think there's a good player still there. I just think that he needs to iron out some of the kinks in his game. He's be a little more consistent.
Yeah, he's too he's too defensive, and he doesn't have the quality to go forward and actually finish to be in the final third. That's my opinion. I think that he's a good midfielder. He's a good squad player for now, but I always bash about this. Regarding Sarri, because I think that he destroyed Bentancur last season. He overused him. He basically played him every single game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going with Bentancur further on. I actually think that Pirlo has figured out his best double in the midfield, and that's Arthur and Rabiot.
Yeah,
it's gotta be.
Yeah, I think Bentancur reminds me of a very old school 90 player, nips at the heels. I think the fact is, the problem is, if you get another midfielder that comes in, where do you slot Bentancur in, right? Artur is slotting in nicely. He's playing the game. McKennie is impressed in certain aspects of the game. So it's interesting to see how Bentancur. I don't know if it's a burnout to Lewis's point, but I just think the guy is 23 years old, right? He's a Uruguayan starter, no question about it, right? So you never doubt the Uruguayan national team. They're always there. Look, and they're World Cup winners. I know that's many years ago, but they produced some fantastic players, right?
Yeah.
Bentancur game, I don't know. I have a feeling this guy's going to be profitized. He's going to be sold and make a bit of money.
That's my thinking also. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Before we move forward, if you don't know what the giveaway is, my friends, if you're watching this stream right now and you vote in on the giveaway, this is the one. This is the jersey or the training kit. This is the one. It's a medium sized. It's a training kit from the banter era, as I like to call it, 13 years ago, with the freaking Claudio Ranieri in charge or something. Those were the days, huh, guys?
Oh, those were my early days as a Juventus fan.
That was what Grandma would call Bantera.
At least we had a good badge.
Yeah, exactly. So guys, on the giveaway, just write JT1K giveaway in the chat, and you are in for the draw. So moving forward. Camavinga for Bentancur. Boniparti Juventino. Camavinga, guys. I mean, the name. I think one of you guys actually said the name out loud very early this season. I was like, "Who was that? I never heard of the guy before." Yeah, it was you. It was over there. But Is it actually real? Is he actually that good of a player?
Yeah, he's a star player, man. He's an unbelievable player. He's got, for his age. Listen, he's played for France national team. He's already not barely touched 20 national team already.
Maybe 17, 18 years
18,
old.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The guy, Camavinga. I'd love him to be in the team for future. He's like champ manager. Graham's the king of champ manager, football manager. But this and Madrid or Barcelona will snap him up. Maybe not Barcelona, more Madrid. One of the two. No chance. I wish we could. Really.
PSG was going to snap him up also.
Unless Mino does something. He goes into Mino's bandwagon and he comes to Juve because they love doing business with us.
French players do like Juventus. Deschamps pushes a lot of players towards us. So,
yeah. I agree with Jason's point there about how he reads the game. I've seen a few games when he played for he's a great player for his age.
Yeah, he's going to take Pogba's spot in the national team.
Please.
Yeah, that's
remember, Pogba's not 20 anymore, folks. He's 27, 28, whatever though. He's not young. Yeah, it's not a young bud anymore. I don't know why people think he's still 20.
Who?
Pogba. He's getting old now.
Paul. Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah. Would you like to have him back, Ober?
You really want to ask me that question?
You touched on it, so come on, finish that up.
No, no. That number 10. I know people have all these stories, and I've read the transcript because in the UK, because I live in the UK with like Graham, and I had to bear the bullshit advertising with Stormzy. I'm back. I'm here to win Ballon d'Or. I'm here. This is the team to build. This is the team to win Champions League. This is blah, 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 blah. And then the thing he said about Juve was a holiday. It wasn't taken out of context. And I've read the context in words, like in the paragraph. He did say that, And then he says, but people have taken that out of context. No, bullshit, you haven't. You said that. And the fact is, Juve gave him the number 10. Now, listen, I don't know if we touched about Dybala and the Dybala saga, Ronaldo saga, all this saga, whatever. But the point is, Dybala, in one aspect of Dybala's point of view, which I admire, he understands what number 10 means to the club and to the player who wore that number 10 for years gone by. Del Piero being the main man, Platini, all these players, And Pogba wore it, and then he's like, see you later. I got the big money. I'm off to Ballon d'Or winning. Well, what in Man United? And you stay there, you piece of... I'm not going to start.
No, yeah, we all kind of agreed on that.
Yeah, we do agree, my friends. No worries.
And we're going to play him anyway.
He's actually only 27. Well, only.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Joseph.
Much better, huh?
I think people ask about Alba and Ramos. There's a question for you boys. Alba and Ramos. Come on.
Alaba or Ramos?
Or both. And both. On a free.
I think
Alaba could be nice. You could use him in a couple different places. The Ramos thing is like, would you have Demirel and De Ligt? Like, how much do you invest in that partnership?
Well, let's say Chiellini retires after this season, which is most likely to be the case. Who do you replace him with? I'd rather go with Alaba without a question. Well, he's 28. We have heard about Alaba since we were in diapers, but he is actually only 28. It's crazy. Sergio Ramos is another matter completely. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know, Graham. Alaba, what's your take on this guy?
Between Alaba and Ramos, I take Alaba every single day of the week. I mean, he's younger. He can play in several positions. He can play out wide as a left back. We need wing backs or full backs, whatever you want to call it. We need players that can play in that position. He can play decently well as a centre back. I think he can even play in the midfield if required. So that's a brilliant player to have in your team. Whereas Ramos is, he's like getting into his mid-30s if he's not there already. And, he's going to command high wages and he's not going to be guaranteed a first-team regular. I mean, once Chiellini hangs his boots up, you should be talking about De Ligt and Demiral or De Ligt and Bonucci. You shouldn't be thinking about who we're going to bring in to play in the starting 11 every week. We've already got him, De Ligt, and one of Bonucci or Demiral beside him. Or even Danilo, with the way he's playing.
Yeah, I'm a big contra. Listen, if we get Alba for free, of course I'll take that. But you're not saying Ramos. Ramos is a beast, man. He's an absolute beast. I mean, the guy scores more goals than strikers in Champions League. Come on, man. That guy. Can you imagine? I mean, just imagine if Ronaldo stays another season, which I'm a bit dubious of. Right? It depends really. If he stays another season, we are literally.
He's gonna stay.
Okay, so we're gonna write
I
off
think
the
we'll
100
see him
million.
2 more years.
Okay, so we're going to write off the 100 million because they ain't going to sell him after that, right?
Yeah.
He'll run his contract down and he'll leave. If we can get Ramos in, I mean, fucking hell, man, the guy's an absolute monster, man, an absolute monster of a player.
Well,
I mean, can you imagine him against Madler? Just do the old Montero into BG's face, man. You're not good anymore, but you know.
Yeah, and then VAR sends him off.
Yeah, well, that's true. No, but look, Alba's got the age with him, right? And he's got the versatility of playing centre back, left back, and defensive mid. So he's got that ability of playing those positions, right? Of course, you take him on a free. There's no question about it, right? Will he play well for us? That's another question. Ramos, he can't play in all those positions, but having Ramos in the team to fucking shake the shit out of them when they're typical Juve, 1-0 up, and then now we're being all over the floor, getting smashed and hammered in for 10 minutes. Ramos be the one really geeing the boys up and say, again, they're acting together.
What do you think? Why do you think that Ramos would succeed?
Because he's a carbon copy of Chiellini. He's old school. He's a dirty bastard, man. Just like Daniel. Why would you not want a dirty bastard in your team? Paulo Montero. You would want
because he would be suspended for half of the season. That's why.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but Demiral might do that as well. I mean,
But Lewis, I think Demiral and De Ligt are far too similar of a player. They're not ball players. They're not ball to feet players. They don't. Bonucci plays the ball. He actually long balls the ball. He plays the ball with his feet. With De Ligt is more of a man-to-man marking, reads the game well, but defensive, he's fantastic. And same as Demiral. But
De Ligt did that very well at Ajax. I just wonder if at Juventus, because he plays with Bonucci a lot, he just doesn't do it as much.
But here's the thing also with when we had De Ligt in the center of the defense and not Bonucci, it actually allowed Arthur to have more of the ball and create more. And with Bonucci behind Arthur, it kind of you have both guys who are gonna want to start the play, and it just disables both of them. It kind of makes both of them like being neutrals. They neutralize themselves, and that's not a good thing. So I think actually we don't have to be. We don't have to think that we need a ball-playing guy in the center of the defense. I mean, now in this day and age, in this modern game, everybody needs to know how to handle a ball. But at the end of the day, why would you want a central defender to start your attacking? That would be nonsense.
Can I counter that then? What about the BBC formula? That worked a treat for years. So you had Chiellini, hardcore, read the game, hard tackling, right? Gets the ball, passes the ball to Bonucci. Bonucci did the same, but he was the ball player defender. And then you had Bazzali, who would do the work that no one realized the work he was doing, the marking, the off-ball marking, the off-ball running. So what about that then? That combo worked a treat for us for many years.
But then again, Bonucci never was the same player again when he returned from Milan. And the game quickly developed. With Antonio Boldi Conte failing completely for Merda with the same formation basically 3-5-2. It's I don't know, man. It's tough, but I would go with Alaba seriously. But there is also a question there regarding would you swap Alexandro with Dybala? That's an interesting question, by the way. I don't know, Graham. What you think?
Off the top of my head, yeah. For the reason I stated earlier, Alaba can play several positions. I think they're roughly the same age as well. Alaba's, throughout the years, he's been playing successfully on that left back, so there's no reason why I don't think you could play that way for Juventus as well. Alexandro is a great player, but at some point you're going to have to sell him on anyway because he's like 29. So when you think about it, those type of players out wide, we've seen it with Marcelo at Real Madrid. Once you start climbing up when you're over 30, they decline. Same with Dani Alves. We got him and he was okay for us, but as soon as he left, he just nosedived. But I mean, I rate Alaba more highly. Nothing against Alexandro. I think he's been a great player for us, but between the two, I would take Alaba.
Yeah. Lewis, let's talk Paulo. Do you think Paulo Dybala will stay or leave a Juve? Well, let's focus on the summer market, because I really don't think he's going to leave in January. If that was the case, if that's the question, that would be insanity. But he asks 15 million contract. Yes, we know this. But does he deserve this 15? That's one thing. And also, will he get that? That's another thing. And at the end of the day, will he leave at the end of this season or not? Talk me through it. What do you think?
Well, I don't think he deserves the 15 million. I think he's a brilliant player, but I think 15 million's a big ask, especially because it seems to be that he really struggles, based on your manager. I mean, he didn't, Allegri had trouble playing him with certain players, and then, Sarri managed to figure it out. But, right now, he doesn't look comfortable at all for a number of reasons. I would give him, 12 million. I don't think that's a crazy ask. 12 million with bonuses or 10 million with bonuses. But I just think that 15, he's not going to get it, especially with the way that he's been playing, unless he, rediscovers his form from last year and goes off again before the end of the season. But I don't see the 15 million. I think Dybala is an incredible player. I think that, there's advantages to using him. But the one criticism of Paulo Dybala is that managers in certain situations can't use him. I mean, he spends more time on the bench than any notable Juve player has ever. So I don't know if it's a manager thing or if it's a him thing. I just feel like it's coming to an end. I mean, they almost sold him 2 summers ago. They might come to the end of this year and be like, hey, we need money, and we can't give this guy a contract extension. They might sell him. I don't know if that's the right decision or not. I think that Dybala could play a huge part in this team for years to come. It feels like it's getting to that point.
Graham, you're a big fan, aren't you?
I like the guy. I wouldn't call myself like I'm definitely not a fanboy. When it comes to Dybala, there's so many issues with him and with the club as well. When we first signed him, he was a striker. I don't know if people remember that. I know it's very long ago. He was a striker for Palermo. We brought him in. He hit the ground running straight away. Allegri liked to slowly integrate players into the team. Well, he brought Dybala off the bench. Dybala scored. Following week, starts him as a sub, brings him on, scores again. And it got to the point where he had to start Dybala, and he was playing him as predominantly a striker, which was working fantastically well. He played for a striker for a while, and then suddenly Ronaldo arrives and Allegri just decided to put him out wide. Absolute failure. It was a horrible season for Dybala personally. Then under Sarri played him more as like, if I remember correctly, as a striker or slightly behind Ronaldo or Higuain. And we saw the results. He had a good season again. I don't know what the hell is going on with him this season. It's not a positional, it's not due to position that's causing him these problems, which was the case in the past. So I don't know what the hell is going on with him. He is a talented player, but right now he's not doing himself any favours when it comes to contract negotiations. At the end of last season, if he came out and said, "I want a contract extension," and whenever anyone is negotiating money, you come out with your highest number first because you don't expect to get it. So like if I'm a football player, I would say I want 15 million. In the back of my head, I'm thinking there's no way Juventus are going to match us. So maybe I'll get 12 or something like that. But when it comes to the number, I think personally it's not my money. So, I don't really care how much he's going to be getting or not getting, but he needs to hit form. He needs to start performing again to be talking about a contract extension. It's a weird one because, there has been instances in the past where it feels like the club really want to get rid of him. And I really don't understand that.
Tomorrow we will be without Cristiano, as we all know. So it's all set up for Dybala to play the full 90, or at least as much as possible. Aubert, do you think there is something there that Dybala cannot work with Cristiano, or is it just talk?
Football's a funny thing. You're a hero today and you're a villain tomorrow, right? That's the classic Beckham analogy to be used against Argentina, right? Villain against Simone Diogo Somon, and he scored that crack against Greece and got England to the World Cup. I think Dybala could be used in the same breath, in a sense. A hero last season, this season seems to be the scapegoat type villain stroke, stepping form. I mean, the guy's 27. He just turned 27. He's worth around about 70 million at the moment. They've been clearly, it's so much you can believe in the press, but clearly Juve were pushing him out to cash in on and get Lukaku, right? So the style of play, if you're looking at the style of play that Juventus was trying to play, maybe it doesn't fit Dybala's style. Personally, like I said, I'm not a Dybala fanboy or anything like that, but I like Dybala. I like what he's done for the club, what he's done. And guys, remember, he scored close to 100 goals in over nearly 240 odd appearances, something like that, something silly, right? I mean, those stats are impressive, and you look at how many assists he's done, and he's done a lot for our club, right? But at the same time, I generally think we should stand by him through this dark period. I think he's in a dip of form. The fans should get behind him. And really, I don't want to get into the saga of Ronaldo, Dybala debate and blah, blah, blah. You know what the funny thing is? We should be blessed to watch these players play for our colours. Because I tell you something, like I just said about 20 minutes ago about Locatelli. And once the girlfriend's gone, see you later, right? And then she's gone. And then you see her, she's doing great things with other guys and well in life and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Same with Dybala. We got to enjoy Ronaldo and Dybala relationship, and this thing on social media with Dybala and Ronaldo is ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
it's bullshit, because if you watch last year, they can.
I'm trying to be polite, but yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
Just the lack of a better word. It's just that they played brilliantly last year, and especially at the end, that final push for the Scudetto, they were dominant. So I don't think. Personally, I wouldn't want him to leave. I just think that the club, they don't, for whatever reason, don't think that they can build around this guy for the next 4 to 5 years. I mean, they 1 year before we signed Ronaldo, in between Cardiff and Ronaldo, they built the team around Paulo Dybala. And after that, it's been just kind of like chaos. They went out, they signed Ronaldo. It's hard to pass up a player like that. But, they almost like changed their tune real quick. So for whatever reason, they don't think he's worth what some of the fans think that he is. It's a weird dynamic, because you would think someone who won Serie A Player of the Year last year would get a good extension, at least 12 million or 10 million with bonuses or something like that. But I just, for whatever reason, I get the vibe that the club just don't think that this guy's a long-term solution for us.
And to be honest with you, Juve do what Juve do best. They sell their top player, like they did with Zidane, the Bajos, and like a very quick little history lesson. When it came to Zidane and Del Piero in the 90s, it was between the two. So the club chose Del Piero and got rid of Zidane. And everyone thinking, oh, you're fucking mad, selling Zidane. Are you mad? Well, with that money, we bought Nedved, Buffon, Cannavaro, Thuram, and, well, the rest is history. But the point is, I won't be surprised if Dybala is sold at 100 million, because that's the market. Whatever it is, depends on how his form goes. But I won't be, even if his form picks up, me personally, I want him to stay at the club. But knowing Juventus, the way they run this club, they'll probably sell him and use the money to bring someone else in.
Yeah, that's basically how I feel. Like, I would keep him, but I just feel like the club, if they get a reasonable price for him. I mean, you're looking at other players. Like, who else could you sell for high turnover this summer? I mean, unless you were going to do something crazy. Yeah, so, I mean, maybe last summer you could have got money for Bentancur because he had a great season, but it feels like that's their move, or that's their agenda that they're looking to do. I don't know. It's really frustrating to watch as a fan now. I know, like you said, it's nothing new for the club, but it is frustrating, especially as you said, like someone who wears the number 10, he carries that shirt when he's a beacon for Juve, but I don't know why. It feels like they want to sell him.
Yeah, and also the thing is with us fans is very strange, but it's also so typical. We want results straight away. We don't want to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 games. We want it now. So when Dybala comes on against Lazio, you expect him to deliver 100%. You don't even think about his history, about his injuries, about his status, about his mental status as well. And when he loses the ball against Lazio, we all turn on him straight away. Well, some of us do, at least some of the fans did that. turned on him because, well, he did his mistake. He lost the ball, but then don't realize that there was a bigger thing at stake. Well, bigger thing to focus on.
No. I'm not having that bullshit thing when everyone's having a Dybala agenda. Bullshit. Dybala shouldn't have lost the ball, granted, but for fuck's sake, you can't have a halfway line, the entire team being ripped to pieces. Cuadrado got shown like a clown that he is, got shown as a clown that he is as defending, got ripped a hole. Bonucci, twerk master of an ass that didn't know how to defend there. Bentancur was ball watching, and Rabiot did jack shit. So please, no one can tell me that was Dybala's pure fault. Dybala and the team.
Unfortunately, my friend. Unfortunately, Robert, there are player fans out there. You know this.
No,
there are a lot of fans
there are, because they've been in my mentions lately.
Yes, who are blaming Dybala for that draw.
You guys need to learn how to mute people.
We're gonna mute the whole Twitter.
It's easy to point players and pick on players, and I'll take mine for example. I don't have a hate against the guy. I think Cuadrado, for example, we talked about Cuadrado very quickly. I don't want to divert quickly on the Dybala question, but Cuadrado, I've always said this: he's a good quality utility player. I've never questioned that, right? I've never questioned that. He's a great player to come on. What Graham mentioned about Alaba, he can come right wing, forward, wing back, right wing back, whatever you will play. Midfield, you'll play it, right? Whatever. The guy cannot defend for shit, right? And he's playing a right wing back. Is it his fault? No, because it's Pirlo. But he's been there for a season. And to echo Alberto's comment, and I agree with him 100%, I would judge and criticize the player that is playing in that position, regardless. End of. Game on.
Yeah, and I think what Roman was trying to get at was that, just like the total overall perception to Dybala this season, fans really kind of forget that, that Juve had like a month of preseason. He missed all of that. And then he came back and missed time because he had the stomach flu. I think that there's a lot of stuff there that you could be like, okay, like maybe this guy needs a little bit of time. The question is, how much time are people going to be willing to take? I think, you wait for him till the season's over. Like, I think that he's that good of a player, but I do think that fans sometimes kind of forget that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's also the thing. We are. I completely agree. We are either white or black. I mean, well, fans basically. We are either for Dybala or against Dybala. It's nothing in gray area, and that pisses me off. I see Lincoln. Man, I gotta reply to this because you're ranting on about Cristiano. We barely mentioned Cristiano. I don't understand where this is coming from. And the project around Cristiano or Dybala, it doesn't matter. It's Juve. We don't care which player the project is around.
You can't build a project around a guy that's 35. I'm sorry. Unless you're going to build a project for 2 years. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, this debate about Ronaldo coming to Juventus, like to Lewis's point, he's done fantastic for us. I'm not talking about social media bullshit, right? I'm not interested in the numbers there. I'm talking about what he's done on the pitch. To be fair, I've said it, he's come on and he scored goals for us, boys, and he's been pumping them in, right? So I can't say anything about that, It's...
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. He's one of the greatest players maybe ever. Like, he's a freak. Like, just by saying that, it's a collective project does not mean you're saying that Ronaldo is not a good player. Anyone who says that in an argument should just not be allowed to talk about football, because it's just not true. But like you said, like the debate between these two players is so weird. Because it's like you get people that are like, well, you're not supporting the club if you don't back a player like Dybala and you're defending Ronaldo. And it's like, why can't you just like both players? They're both great players. They play well together. Like,
I'd just like to mention, because back in the late 90s and early 2000s, there was not this presence of social media. Del Piero, just for I'm not going to touch everyone's hero here, but Del Piero, for the seasons he played for us, not every season was stellar. Not every season was a brilliant season for Del Piero.
His best season was after his injuries, I say.
Yeah, well, but what I'm saying is, what would happen if Del Piero was playing today's football, in today's environment? He would get absolutely butchered.
Be roasted.
And I think, too, like there was such a standard set when social media was coming to be with players like Messi and Ronaldo. Like, I don't think people realize that's so one in a generation that you get players that are banging in 50, 60 goals every year for however long they did at Barcelona, Real Madrid. Like, that's not, you're right. Like, that's just not a normal thing. You have ups and downs in your career. You have injuries, things like that. Like,
yeah, I see. I mean, one thing is when I didn't realize this, and Roman and Graham, and even you, Lewis, we come on the La Panquina, I didn't realize all the fanboys. I didn't even realize the term fanboy when Ronaldo joined. So, oh well.
Can I just answer this guy, Lincoln? Man, listen, please prove me. I will highlight your comment there. Please find me a place where I say I hate Cristiano. Please. Yeah, this is interesting. Why do you think I hate Cristiano? Is it because I rate him not 10 out of 10 every single live? No. Well, that's also the thing. I rate players based on their performances overall, right? So it's either Cristiano or Dybala or Szczesny or De Ligt. It doesn't matter. They'll get the rating based on their performance, and that's it. Why are you saying that I'm hating Cristiano? Please prove me if I do, because, well, man, I don't. And it will be destructive for Juve if we are basically, well, not allowed to like Cristiano. Okay, we're like, how can you not like Cristiano being in your team? Of course. But if I hate Cristiano, that's another matter. You don't have to. You have to love a player or hate a player. It always has to be a gray area as well. That's what people need to learn. That there is a gray area. Yeah. What am I giving away? Just to follow up on this one, Graham. Sorry, Antonio is asking what you're giving away. I'm giving away this one, not this one. It's as ugly as balls. But
money for it. You spend money on it. Yeah, Quadrado. I like that.
That's the one. That's the one I'm giving away. Yes, Mirgan, I do have Quadrado. No, I don't.
Give it time. This one final touch on the whole Ronaldo thing. Okay, right? I think I don't want to speak for everyone, but I'm pretty sure everyone in this group, there's not one player that plays for Juventus that we hate. I can get frustrated with Quadrado. Doesn't mean I hate him. Doesn't mean it's just criticism. That's all it is. And I find this it's so strange with more modern younger fans how everything seems to have to be about this player against that player. I don't understand why there's this rivalry between Dybala fans and Ronaldo fans. I mean, it's like they both play for the same club. Messi, Ronaldo, I get it at the time because that was Real Madrid, Barcelona. That's just another ingredient into that rivalry between the two clubs. But it's so strange just to see this rivalry and comparison between two players that play for the same club. It's so weird to me.
Listen, at the end of the day, I don't give a shit as long as we win 3 points on the board. Now, this season, with all due respect to everyone, there's the debate about 10 in a row, the Champions League. 10 in a row is is something that it's not even in a generation we talk about, right? I don't care if we win 1-0 dirty. I don't care if it's McKennie scoring, Quadrado scoring, Teka scoring. I don't care as long as we win. That's all I care.
Same here. It's all that matters.
Mirgan clearly doesn't like Bonucci. Wow.
Yeah, I hated him at Milan. That was for sure.
This is another thing I don't really understand either. Like, I understand saying like, hey, he hasn't been as good as he was before the Milan move. Like, that's fair. It's just like, I mean, like, you can hate him as much as you want. Like, he's playing for us. He's probably going to retire for us. Like, just get over it. Like,
well, the thing with Bonucci is that it's very easy to criticize him because of his performances, because of his inconsistency, because the way he defends sometimes is just very frustrating, and we're allowed to do that as fans. But I mean,
I think he's getting showed up.
Sorry?
I think he's getting showed up. The fact that when you have BBC, I think the most underrated, underappreciated player of that backline was Barzagli. What that guy did, people didn't realize, and made Bonucci look good. And I'm just saying, Bonucci's a great defender. But when he went to Milan and all that bullshit, changing the pendulum and how he's going to change the shift of power from Juve to Milan. He didn't use the word Juve Milan, but we know who he was referring to. And then he did that celebration. He'd said that because he did that because people were citing. But that's what fans do. So don't rise to that bullshit. You're a professional player. Keep your mouth shut. Don't do that stupid thing. And I think that's still, it kind of angst a few players. I don't hate him, but when happened last season, Chiellini had that injury and he stepped in with De Ligt. He played really well. And then after COVID, since when they came back after COVID, he's just went all the way down.
Yeah.
In his thing. That's the problem.
Well, but I think that's what I was saying, like that's objective. That is, that's accurate. Like he hasn't been good since they came back from COVID. It's just some people, like, if it snows in Torino, it's his fault. Like Quadrado could get nutmegged on a goal. It's just like
Yeah. Okay, well, we got to get back to the game itself. We have a game tomorrow, and
Do we?
well, we do actually. Yes, it's a small matter of Benevento. Well, is it a small matter though? That's the question. We are without Cristiano. We are without Gigi Buffon. So that means that, well, that's also a question of leadership. Who is going to be the captain of that team? Well, when we're not, well, I don't know. It's probably going to be Mr. Juan.
No, it won't be. If Dybala is playing, it will be Dybala.
Yeah, Dybala will get it.
Dybala, if Dybala is playing, he will be captaining the side. Yes. Yeah. What's the prediction, Aubert, and what do you think? How it will go? I touched on it very briefly right at the start of the stream. I don't think we're going to win with huge numbers. We rarely do. So I go with 1-2. I don't know. What's your take?
Yeah, I don't think Benevento will go up first, and Juve will suddenly wake up and score, struggle. It'll be 1-1 for long periods of the game, and we won't sneak it in like we did last game, but we will probably win 2-1, but really struggle. Don't know why. I just really, yeah. It's
Pippo Inzaghi.
Well, apart from that, yeah, him and Morata will be high-fiving each other as Mr.
Morata. They have the same mother because they were born in offside position.
Yeah. I just think the thing is, my problem is the season. Obviously, I know people talk about Pirlo and this and that and that. He's tinkering too much, just way too much.
But I think like even like you see that the setup, that 4-4-2 going forward, and then the 3-5-2 or 3-5-2 going forward, 4-4-2 in defense that he's been using the last couple games. I think that that's something we'll see for a lot of the year. Like I think that he's starting to figure that out a little bit. I don't think we'll see someone in the hole behind two strikers as much. But yeah, I think it'll be 2-0 tomorrow. I think we'll get a clean sheet.
Clean sheet.
I don't know why I'm feeling it, but I think we'll get one. But
I'm gonna call you up on that.
Give up a goal, it's gonna end up 1-1. So.
You know what's gonna happen when Benevento scores? I'm gonna tweet you. You know, I'm gonna reach out to you. You know that.
I expect it to. And we get a clean sheet, I'll be tweeting all of you.
Yeah, fair enough.
I got blocked by someone this week for that.
Just wait and see. We're up. We'll be down 2-0 at halftime. Yeah. But it'll be exciting for sure, yeah. And Dybala most probably will be the captain because that's the way it goes. It's Chiellini first, and he's injured. Bonucci is back in the team, but he will probably not start. So he's our captain usually when Chiellini is not available. But then it goes to Dybala, and then it is Alex. It could be actually. It is Alexandro first, and then it is Quadrado. And down the pecking order.
What do you think is the scoreline? Because I'm always curious to see what he says.
Who?
Graham.
Yeah, Graham. What's the scoreline?
Tough win, 2-1. I've zero faith in clean sheets, so I will celebrate a clean sheet if we have one.
To be fair, I just missed it, but someone about this captaincy thing, I don't know if we're going to talk about it, but this captaincy thing, De Ligt, I generally think De Ligt should be captain. End of.
Yeah.
Is it too early?
The problem is we know what the captaincy is based on, appearances.
Yeah. You don't necessarily have to wear the armband to be a leader, though. I think that's...
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah. I think that Ronaldo and De Ligt are both leaders by their actions on the pitch.
Agreed.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, when Buffon gets a start, I mean, he's going to be your leader. You know what I mean? He's going to be commanding the defense. He doesn't need an armband to do that.
Yeah.
I would love that. I would have loved to have seen Inzaghi play with VAR. I would have loved it.
He would have a career. That's it.
He would not have scored.
Champions Leagues too.
Yeah.
Inzaghi. I think Van Nistelrooy also would have some trouble with that.
Oh yeah, definitely those two for sure.
The whole classic Van Nistelrooy on a free kick will go off the offline of the defense, really be offside and bring back in play. You know how many times he'll be caught offside there? He's an fastest player.
Yeah. You know, that's my favorite Champions League goal ever. It's the one where Pirlo takes the free kick and it hits Inzaghi in the face and goes in and he celebrates like he meant to do it.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that was totally practice and training. They totally meant to do that.
The thing is with this captain armband, again, we can say our opinion, right? But it's the club that decides. I think it's utter nonsense where they put because the longest serving person in the club deserves bullshit. Because that doesn't how it works. Like Lewis said, it's your leadership skills. Ronaldo, De Ligt, Bonucci to an extent, Chiellini, of course, Buffon. You know, Dybala. Where?
I mean, Dybala's kind of like Andrea Balzarli was a good player in the locker room to have. You know, that's kind of Dybala's role. Like Cuadrado is a good player to have in the locker room, but he's not someone to wear the captain's armband.
But what I want to know is what are the perks of being a captain for a side nowadays? What does it give you? What privileges do you get? Because I don't see the point of giving. Well, if we're giving it to Cuadrado based on his appearances, okay, fine. But what does it actually enables him to do with that captaincy armband besides talking to the referee? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, to Lewis' point, I think the captaincy is you look for leadership. So when you've got moments in the game where they're really down in the dumps, in the trenches,
but you don't need the captaincy armband for that.
But there are captains where you see like vocal leaders who are kind of pushing people forward. Yeah. You know, like take someone like Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson is an all right player, but as a captain, as a leader, I mean, he's in the players' ears all day long. Like that's where you have like kind of a reference point, almost like a coach on the pitch kind of thing, where it's like, hey, think about how many times where like, you know, against Lyon, De Ligt, Ronaldo were yelling at the team to get forward more and more. I mean, when you have someone that's doing that, like with the armband, it kind of lifts the team a little bit. Like, you know, Messi gets it because he's been at Barcelona for 15 years, but I mean, he doesn't lift the team, you know, he's not a leader.
No, that's also an interesting thing. Yeah, why is Messi being a captain? Because I've rarely seen him do anything captainy. It's
stroking the ego.
Yeah. Careful now. Don't get Messi fanboys in here.
Well, if we have Ronaldo fanboys in here, we get Messi too.
I think you looked at your captain sometimes take this steer. I know what you're saying, Roman, about what's the benefit. I don't listen. If I was a kid and I was a captain Italy or captain Juventus, it's an honor. It's even a higher honor being the captain. You look to be the leader. Fabio Cannavaro is an example, right? For the national team, you know, it's a privilege. It's an honor to wear that band. Unfortunately, when you stop diddling squat around players because they've been the longest, the guy, you give it to Dybala, he doesn't open his mouth ever. You need, like what Lewis saying, I get that. By the way, only the captain can actually talk to the referee when there's situation. Other players get shushed away. Only the player. Can you imagine Dybala? Ronaldo be like screaming in the fucking guy's face, man. Come on, or De Ligt, you know? Can you imagine the Hulk getting pumped up?
Yeah, I mean, and it's, you know, the person that wears the armband, you could say that, you know, when Bonucci has it, you know, the team looks like it's missing a little bit something versus where a player like Chiellini has it and is urging the team forward. So I think that depending on who has it can reflect on, you know, what the team is, you know, looking to, because it's supposed to be a pillar for the other players to look forward to. You have someone who's not a leader, who is a pacifist, like a Barcelona. When it comes down to grind things out, like, you know, can they do that? I think that there's significance there. And I think that they should think about it a little bit more. Look, Andrea Pirlo has basically done whatever he's pleased to do since he's been here. It, like, calls up youth players. He plays funky formations. He might as well just hand the armband to someone who isn't capped as much, you know?
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of people in the, and just gotta say to the chat section here, because we have a lot of people that are for De Ligt as a captain. Yeah, and it sounds like an intriguing idea. What would that mean for us if we give the captain's armband to De Ligt? Let's say we give him next season. What does it mean for De Ligt? Would it even solidify his his contract with Juve? Maybe we can renew that contract and remove that freaking clause that he has on his contract.
Well, I was about to literally say, Roman, to what Graham said. Massage his ego, give him the bloody captain armband, and the guy's leading the best team in Italy and one of the top teams in Europe. What more would you want apart from going to Madrid or Barcelona? Apart from that, what else would you want? Obviously to win Champions League, but to lead one of the best teams in Europe. Come on, at 20. Come on.
Well, and you're right too, because you stroke his ego a little bit. This would be the time to do so, because there really isn't a clear-cut team in Europe. I mean, other than Bayern Munich, that like you'd be like,
of course,
that team would win. You know, Barcelona and Real Madrid are weaker than they have been in recent years. So,
I mean, when you look at European football objectively, there are several teams that are like in a form of transition. You know, we are one of them. Barcelona undoubtedly are one of them. Real Madrid as well. So, you know, the only one that's not really in transition is like Bayern Munich. When you think about it, potentially Man City, they're having their own issues as well. But I would definitely, between the players that are available, I would say give the armband to De Ligt. I mean, you know, he is. I'm convinced he's going to be one of the best centre backs in football. You know, he's already amongst them. You know, once you get all these guys, you know, like Chiellini, Ramos, etc., once they're retired and gone, I think De Ligt's going to be right up there. You know, some people might say Van Dijk, but Van Dijk's 29.
Nah, come on, man.
No, but you know what I mean. You know where I'm coming from. You live in the UK. You know what it's like. Van Dijk is 20. Van Dijk is 29, so he's maybe got like 4 years or something at the maximum. De Ligt's just barely touching 20, 21 years old. I think he is going to be the best centre-back in football at one point. And you want to keep a player like that in your team for as long as possible. So if you give him the armband at such a young age, you know, it shows him that, you know, you're looking at him as the future and the present. So that's a massive thing, I would say. And he can actually lead a team at such a young age.
Did you see his interview recently? He spoke Italian pretty well.
Impressive.
He's been one of the more impressive signings that we've had, just like in terms of like, you know, the hype and then like what he is and what he brings. I mean, he carries himself such like you would a Juventus player. I love like when you see like in the offseason, he took McKinney and Kulusevski to dinner. You know, like that's just like that's exactly how you would expect a Juventus player to act, whether he's been there 6 months to a year. You know.
Yeah, and plus, I'd love to him to wear the Juve jersey. If we do it again, ever again, we're going to Champions League. We've got crowds in every time soon. He gets his jersey and he swings around his arm and he jumps up and down. He gets the crowd pumping like he did with Ike. Because that, I swear to God, if that ever happens, I'm going to be, I want to say fanboy, but I'm going to be I'll be tweeting that, the whole lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he stays for as long as possible for sure. It could well be the case that unfortunately he finds out that he cannot achieve anything else with Juve and moves on, but
which is going to be the case, I reckon.
Yeah, we never know. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, we have to round up this live. It's already been 2 hours and 39 minutes so far, and I really enjoyed this one. A lot of comments in the chat. And to finalize, there is still a little bit of time left. We're gonna, maybe 5 minutes more. So to win this one, you just have to enter the draw by Cruz. Do what Thomas did just now. JT 1K giveaway. Just write it in the chat and you are in. This is a medium-sized training kit. Very special for me because this was the one that I bought. One of the first ones I bought actually on Juve store back in the day. Imagine. Yes.
Long time ago.
It's a long time ago. It is a long time ago. It's when Alberto Zaccheroni was still relevant as a football coach.
Guys, long time ago means vintage. You want that shit.
Yeah, Zaccheroni wasn't interested. That's again banter era as well. That's
Listen, only true Juventinos represent the banter area. If you weren't around for the banter era, you should still join in for it just to rep it.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually,
Roman, I was thinking your pink shirt, is that the one with the bullshit drawing on it?
This one? Yeah, you want to see? You want to see?
Can we see it? Can we see the badge? I think you should give that away. That piece of.
Never giving that away. Nobody would want that.
Turn around. Let's see the badge. Look at that. Oh God!
Listen, Robin, that's something you're gonna want. Like, I'm getting the Halloween kit because I want to remember in 20 years that we wore Halloween colors for a full season.
You know, that thing still has the tags on it. Roman doesn't even want to wear it. That's how bad it is.
That is so ugly.
But to be serious, to be quite honest, the fabric is fantastic. The fabric is actually, well, it's amazing. It's the best thing I've ever touched. Well.
But the thing is,
PG guys.
Next season, apparently the kids.
Bye.
The next season, apparently kids are going to be pretty. The home and away apparently going to be very good. Apparently next season.
Yeah.
The third's going to be awful. So it's going to appeal to Lewis. He'd love the shocking pink or shocking orange, shocking green, whatever the colors they're going to do.
Listen. I love the pink kits. I was so happy when I heard we were getting a pink fourth one, and then that came out, and I was like,
Don't do it.
No,
do not. Don't do that.
Yeah.
As a guy with tattoos, I am telling you, do not get a football badge as a tattoo. Trust me, it will be out of date in a few years.
It will change again.
Yeah. We've already, as my time during a Juventus fan, I've already seen 3 different badges, okay? So it will change. I mean, Jesus, look, this badge already is out of date. It's already out of date.
Luca is asking, where did you get that info? Well, we do not kiss and tell, Luca. It is from a very credible source, Luca.
And the fact is, I don't know about Lewis, but I know Roman, as you can tell by the shirts behind Graham and Rome, they're shirt collectors with Alberto as well. And trust me, I don't get involved in the shirt collection love affair. But what I've been told about the away shirt, and where it's, I won't give it away too much, but where its inspiration's been drawn from, I'm going to be one of the first to buy them. So that's how, and I don't usually buy this stuff when it comes out.
Join us and join the collection.
You know what one thing we need to do, Graham, is just buy him one jersey that he absolutely craves for, and then he will be hooked.
No.
Give him a white Quadrado jersey.
Here's a wee reveal behind the curtain. Like, during the summer, I convinced Aubert to buy a shirt. He was thinking about it. He was toying around with the idea, and I kept saying to him, "It's a gorgeous shirt. It's beautiful. You'll love it. You'll love it." And then he bought it, and he agreed with me. It was a gorgeous shirt. So I'm slowly getting him there. He's getting there.
Let's ask you this: if we win let's say if we win the Champions League this season by the crazy thing, would you buy the jersey?
Yeah.
The one that we win the Champions League with?
Yeah. The jersey that we win. And if it's even the Halloween bollocks, I'll buy it. I'll have to.
Oh, there we go.
Listen.
But it's not going to happen. Hey.
Listen, you have to buy the Halloween kit because every couple of years when we play on Halloween, you need a shirt for that. Some of the collectors have that.
It is Black Friday, so you take advantage of that. Free customization.
Yeah,
but you got to pay £10 for the patch.
1 hour more, I think.
Yeah, don't remind me, Albert. £10 for the Champions League patch. Yeah.
Are you a shirt collector, Lewis?
What?
Are you a shirt collector as well?
Not really.
Oh God, there's some sanity in this room.
No, I am buying the Halloween kit just to have it, but I'm not a shirt collector.
He's also getting the Juve tattoo just to top it off.
Well, I say that now, and I probably won't. But
I know. Honestly, if you want to
getting Danilo on my back,
Not Quadrado.
No,
No.
Quadrado, you only got the Subway kit that all Juve has sent me today.
I already have the Bonucci kit, so that's fine. That's okay.
So do I, actually, sadly.
Sadly, yeah, that's very sad.
Before you close, Roman, did you guys touch about Maradona or not?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes, we did briefly with me and Luz at least. But well, of course, the whole world knows. But just briefly, Diego Maradona passed away this week, and we just touched based on it because while he was alive, we were barely focused on Maradona the person and his antics off the pitch.
Yeah.
But now that he's gone, we kind of look at the whole life in the perspective, and focus more on how good of a player he was and how influential he was, not only for Argentina and Napoli, of course, but the whole world of football.
Yeah, no, I'm saddened by the loss of Maradona. I think it's a real. I mean, obviously, look at Pele's 18, Maradona died at 60. Clearly lifestyle choices, but forget about that, and you look at the beauty and the passion he brought in the game. On the football pitch, he was. To think he went to Napoli, absolutely dog shite of a team, and to win 2 Serie A titles with them against the big likes of Milan, Juve, Inter, and all those people. I mean, the player was unbelievable. He was gifted, naturally, beautiful way of playing football, and that whole famous game against England with the hand of God.
Yeah.
People forget that game. Do yourself a favor, folks. Watch that. If you can, rewatch that game. Watch Maradona getting kicked the shit out of him in that game. He got the shit kicked out of him in that game, and he still, excuse the pun, he still butchered them, and he still, apart from the hand, but he did score a fantastic goal. I think Maradona, to me, epitomizes what I always call a generational player. And Graham is sick and tired of me hearing this, but I genuinely, him, Pele, are the very few players, handful of players that really touch everyone's perspective outside football as well. Not just about football, but his scope is so outreaching. It's incredible. Great player. It's a shame. Real shame.
Yeah, it is. But Boniperti is still with us, though. It's actually quite interesting. I don't know, he's 90 almost, isn't he?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy in the chat.
No, no. The actual maybe it is the actual Boniperti. We don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not the same level as obviously Maradona.
Boniperti is 92. Oof.
Yeah.
What I said to Roman earlier was that football has all of its legends still alive. I mean, most of them are still here. So to see someone like Maradona go, with the exception of Johan Cruyff, most of them are alive. A couple here and there, but it's just like it's weird to see. It was weird to hear. It's very sad. Okay, great player, great character for football.
Yeah.
Everyone, if you haven't watched it already, do yourself a favor. Watch Diego Maradona, the documentary from 2019. It is really so good. It is absolutely phenomenal to watch. Lots of home footage and all of his time at Napoli. And it's just, the word legend and GOAT gets thrown around so easily nowadays, but that man legitimately is a legend and a GOAT. And I'm telling you right now, years from now, they're still going to be talking about that guy because he was a legitimate legend in football.
Who the hell can pull off wearing a perm, gold chain, and black Puma outfit shoes on the football pitch of Barcelona? No one can except Maradona. And no one will laugh. They laugh.
No. Did you see the interview? Well, the Gary Lineker. He talked about Maradona briefly.
Yeah.
That was quite funny stories there. Yeah.
His
yeah.
Just a quick one. How did you guys think of Juventus's homage to Maradona? The silent homage.
Better than nothing.
Talk about it.
Very Juventus-like.
By the way, great shot by Prima Squadra Juve, George Best. Fantastic as well.
Yeah. George Best as well.
There's a documentary on ESPN. It was a 30 for 30 on him. That's pretty good.
Yeah. George Best was a quad. He was to me. I don't know, Primo Squad. I don't know where you're from. You sound like you're probably from the UK or somewhere. But George Best, he was for me like the Hunt in good old Formula One. Just rock and roll, drink, women, the lifestyle. Definitely not the football lifestyle of Ronaldo, as in Cristiano Ronaldo. But
yeah, but you could put the parallels between George Best and Maradona actually. Both enjoyed the life to the fullest, absolute fullest, and
Gascoigne.
Yeah,
Gaza, legend.
But I wouldn't put him in the same category though.
No, of course not. But I was surprised that Gaza has lasted this long. To be honest, the FAA are looking after him. The FAA are looking after him. But Gaza, unfortunately, he's on a. Yeah, he was. Listen, Groman, I probably didn't watch much of Gaza, but Gaza was a class, not Diego level, but he was a classy. He was a fantastic player, especially when he's adored in Italy.
He's adored in Glasgow by one half of the fans.
Oh yeah, of course he is.
He's pretty close to like what Cassano would have been for modern fans.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Kind of similar careers.
Yeah, you also touched on that one, Luis. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Kulusevski. No. Going back to the nowadays. Too early to say anything. Inconsistent. For sure. Very, very inconsistent so far. But we'll see what happens this season, though.
Well, his rapping career is going well.
Oh well, yeah, he is excellent there. Yeah, he would step in for Tupac in any day.
Do not follow him on Instagram. Do not follow him. Oh my!
Yeah, that was a quick unfollow.
Definitely not getting his name on the back of a shirt anytime soon for that.
Swedish Eminem, as I like to call him.
No, but the thing is, Kulusevski, it's too soon, right? He's a young lad. It's too soon for him.
Yeah,
sure. But it's very interesting how good of a player he was for Parma during second part of last season, and now he of course goes to Juve, bigger team, bigger expectation, and he plays in Champions League, and he was absolutely crap in the Champions League so far.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress with this guy. San Maradona Stadium. Is it official now? Did they change the name now?
I thought it was. I thought it was something.
They can't for 10 years in Italy. I don't think there's a rule about it.
Yeah, I thought they will rename it eventually, but San Paolo Diego Armando del Maradona. I thought that was gonna. Yeah. I mean, guys, to be honest though, how many players in current football would have what Maradona's current open? The passing the palace for 3 days morning, a country. I mean. Yeah. I think Cristiano Ronaldo, Madeira, the whole island going morning, and possibly Portugal.
Yeah,
maybe
Portugal for sure.
I just don't see Argentina doing it for Messi, to be honest with you.
No.
I mean,
but we...
No.
When Roma and I were talking about it, like Maradona, some of the Italian fans, my cousins that grew up in the 90s, they remember Italia 90, remember Maradona, like Italian fans rooting for him because he was so polarizing for the league at that time against Italy in the semifinal.
Yeah.
I'm sure Robert could tell you the story behind that. That's the 90s.
Well, there's a few stories actually, but I don't want to. Maradona, unfortunately, being in Napoli, obviously he got involved. Well, it's not confirmed, unconfirmed, but it's definitely true though. Then they said that he got involved in the mafia and even threw away games, which was not the best of Maradona's side, But that's not his fault. I mean, when you've got the Ndruga there, that's quite tough, I mean, that's it. You go to Napoli, he's adored there. But no, we can leave that for next time. I've got a lot of stories of the early 90s, and I was watching him. Honestly, it's I can remember. I can't remember every game, but there were some fantastic games there. I mean, that game. You know what? Actually, you know what that game was about? That Napoli Juve game.
The one that they tweeted about.
Yeah. I won't say. No, I won't say because I want people have a look what that game was about. It's interesting.
Oh, you tease.
No, it's interesting. Honestly, there's a reason why they chose that specific game.
Yeah, because the goal in itself wasn't that great.
No.
It was just why.
Yeah.
But that's also stupid. Why would they do that? Just explain a bit more in the tweet or something. They just tweeted the freaking video.
No, I think look. I jumped on a bit too fast, but then I kind of sat back and thought about it. And it's the problem with social media. Sometimes you just have to sit back before you say something out on social media. But sometimes the words are not said at all, and let the action speak itself. And yeah, no, but have a look. Honestly.
Interesting.
Yes,
maybe because Platini versus Maradona.
Prima squadra. Yeah, I mean, who are you? I'm interested who you are.
Straight to the point.
Totti.
Where does Totti rank in the best of all time?
That's a good question.
Well,
Top
if we
40?
compare him to the absolute greats, I would say he will be behind for quite a while. Well, at least. I mean, I don't know. Well, first of all, he's a one team guy, and we never know how great he is until he switches sides. In my opinion. So I'm gonna tell you. Yes, actually, yes. Actually, yes, he did write that before Prima Squadra, but I don't believe the guy.
It's an interesting one with Totti. Totti undoubtedly was a very, very talented player, but being a one-man club goes against him and plays for him. For what he done with Roma and then for what he done with the national team, that's phenomenal. But it's just very tough to gauge and gauge him against other players, even of that era. You know what I mean? That era was just loaded with phenomenal players.
Yeah. 13-year-old boy.
I always was fond of Totti, but I kind of remember him after the great debate between him and Del Piero. Like, he was kind of older when I started watching. I think 32. But that first year I watched Serie A and watched Juventus, he was top scorer. I think he'd probably be a top 50 player of all time.
No doubt. Yeah.
He'd probably be like in between, like, he wouldn't be top 20, but he'd probably be in like 40, 30-ish, like somewhere around there. But just even watching highlights of him, I mean, his touch was unbelievable. And he played, you could take like the last 2 years out, but he was a catalyst for Roma for at least 2 decades. I mean, there were Champions League games at 37 they scored goals in. I think he got one against Man City, maybe.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
I think he's actually one of the oldest guys to ever score in the Champions League, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, I always think about, I was watching a game, they were playing Torino. I think it was when Spalletti was the coach. They were down 2-1. They were playing awful. And he came on for 5 minutes, and he scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. It was his first 2 touches. Just like, I think he was 38.
Yeah,
so
Totti was really good under Spalletti. I feel like it sounds strange to say. I feel like he got better once he retired from international football and he started playing as a striker. And then, like you were touching on, he just started banging in the goals for fun at one point.
Just to your point, Ron, I put out your misery about that one. So I'll just tell everyone because, it's that point in that game, Juventus were leading the Serie A table. And that was the only goal in that game. And Maradona scoring that 1-0 win put Napoli ahead of Juventus, and that kind of tilted the pendulum in that season. But at the same time, you said the goal wasn't great because that footage is not great. But if you YouTube it, honestly, Roman, you're a purist of footballer of enjoying good goals. Look at how he did that goal because that ball went up vertically over the wall, and then it somehow swerved to the corner of the goal. Have a look. That footage wasn't the best footage. It's hard to see because it was in 85, I think, or something like that in the mid-80s. I'm not 80s, sorry. Quite an old game. So have a look. It's a fantastic goal. It's a fantastic goal. And I think Juventus was saying the underlying message was that one man overtook Juventus. One man, not the team. He did. Took it over the team. And that's that's when the league changed leaders, and that's when Napoli ran up, did whatever they did.
That's why he's a legend.
One man.
But also, I think him and Careca was also kind of the second player also in that team for Napoli.
Who?
Careca.
Massimo Carega.
No. Careca. Google it, my friend. Maradona and Careca, we both scored insane amount of goals the same season.
No, man. You're talking about your pronunciation, man. What's his name?
No.
I'm with you, Lewis. They're talking before my time.
Yeah, that's too early for me. I know Maradona, and that's it.
Thing is, though, I'm just wondering why Roman's looking at. You know that World Cup in 2018 was that the program he was doing, Graham, when he was all coked up and everything, and he was doing all the preparations.
Yeah.
When he was in the stands, yeah.
It's that one, yeah. It's that one.
Yeah, that's that one. Yeah.
Careca
He was definitely on something.
That's the one where he gives the finger to the fans, right?
Yeah.
That's maybe my favorite Maradona clip maybe ever.
He was like fully amped up, 10 out of 10, and then during the same game he fell asleep. So take from that what you want.
I think the other one, not the bad time, but this is his off-field antics, right? He was with a coach, and the guy came with some powder, and then his assistant coach clocked on and got up and covered the camera. Like the guy was interested in the game, and you could see he's spinning it over and snorting a lot. And woo! He's back on, boys.
There's a famous story about when Cannavaro was a ball boy for Napoli. He made a challenge on Maradona in like a training game. They had like the ball boys play with the first team, and the manager threw him out because it was like a crunching tackle, but he got like all ball. And Maradona like pulled him back into the game and said it was the best challenge he ever received. Like
that's
he had a great career after that.
Over. Careca, 15 goals in 33 games for Napoli in 91-92. I'm surprised you haven't heard of the guy.
Well, because that's when I started supporting. When I started going to Juventus, that's probably why. Remember, I was only a young lad, huh?
Yeah, sure. All right, guys, we just passed the 3-hour mark. We gotta finish this stream. It's late, but it's nice to have you on, guys. We've been quite a lot of discussions, and got a lot of topics we covered tonight. So we're closing down this live. I got a lot of. A lot of you guys are now in the draw for this very training kit. So I will be doing a draw, and I will reveal who will win this giveaway next Friday night. Thank you so much to all of you for joining this Juve therapy session. See you next Friday night, and of course, thank you for all the comments and for all your congratulations with the 1K. subscribers. We move forward to 1 million or whatever. I don't care. It is what it is. But thank you to Lewis for joining. Thank you to Graham and, of course, Aubert. Fino alla fine. And I hope we win tomorrow. My prediction is 1-2. Graham 1-2. Aubert. What was yours, by the way?
1-2.
1-2. And Lewis?
2-0.
0-2. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you have a clean sheet.
It's the insane one.
It's the clean sheet guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
So,
please remember tweeting to Lewis, Devido, in one word when we concede. So,
Yeah, please, everyone tweet at me tomorrow.
Everyone, please. Well, guys, enjoy your evening and, Forza Juve.